they just blew. So then they come back and beat FaZe in 7. And again, we are talking about these teams as like, oh, they're here top 4. But again, it was 1 goal, right? So Gen G, because of that morale, maybe that 1 goal difference is there because of that. Who knows? But they're just happy to be here. That's 2 top 4s now for them, very likely going to Rotterdam at this point. So they're feeling great.
Yeah, no, man, it's an interesting point you bring up. And I mean, Daz, like, I feel like we've gotten to interact with Noli and Appjack at Worlds and other events. Both these players seem very mentally bulletproof. Chronic, someone who's a little bit of an unknown for me personally, but as far as the mental on that team, something we're seeing be increasingly more of a differentiator between the top teams. That could be the X factor that puts Gen G forward.
It could be. I mean, a lot of people have been making jokes about Jack calling him PR Jack, the way that he's been handling a lot of his recent interviews. But they have really, again, like that strong routine, that mental. You see Noli on Twitter like, hey, guys, I'll usually keep the same song on loop. Give me song suggestions. Abjack and his water that he only takes like the very light sips of for the entire series. Like they all have their like little gimmicks that like help them out over the course of the series. And it's working, though. You know, they're locked in. They're able to bring Chronic, who's a new player, into the fold. And even under the pressure that they've had to play on for this entire, even this entire tournament, right? The G2 game, the 0-second play, the FaZe Clan, game 7, like FaZe Clan looked unbeatable until Gen G took them down. Like this is a big deal. And I think we got to pay attention to them a little bit more moving forward.
I think they'll get a lot of respect today, but they got to go through SSG, who's also been popping off and has a transcendent Daniel right now. We'll talk about them a little bit later on. Right now, let's talk about the best of the best yesterday, because we talked about some other teams. There's some other players that just had highlight days here, Dazrin.
That's absolutely right. Let's get these top 3 players going. I'm sorry. Let's start with number 3. Of course, 3 belongs to the Beast. Look at this play again. This game was phenomenal from Beast Mode. One of the best individual performances I've seen from a player in I don't know how long. And it starts there with this one. He picks his ball up. Look at this. The initial touch off the ceiling card. Where's he going? Kaya didn't even know when to jump up. It was too late. Beast Mode had this goal all day long. The control and the precision was beautiful, but it doesn't stop there. It just doesn't stop there. Of course, we got to talk about the ceiling pitch. Picture perfect pitch. Look at this. He's taking it from his own corner off the top wall. Yeah, it goes to the side, but everybody just did not think this was going into the net. It's picture perfect under the crossbar. Look at this one more time. We're going to take this. Look at how the ball zooms right under that bar. It was phenomenal, but you know what was better? This one right here. Captain America, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Garrett G dunking it into the net in game 7. Look at how the ball just sticks to his car. Won't leave the car. No one can stop Garrett G when he's on a play like that. And he had that pop-off potential afterwards that showed that 2 defenders from Optic jump up, but the ball's still going into the back of the net. This got NRG into the top 4, and you absolutely love to see it.
You gotta give him the ice in his veins there, Gibbs. I got over 0 going to game 5 season 1 vibes from that goal.
It was so big. Obviously, game 7 overtime to win it. But on the other side, Beast Mode as well. He had 2 top plays. Not only was it 2 top plays, it was in the same game. They were down in that series 3-2. They won that game because of those 2 plays to force a game 7, and now they're here as well. So a lot of clutch plays coming out from a bunch of these guys.
Yeah, I feel like we could have picked kind of any 2 Beast Mode moments. The fact that there was, I feel like the best way to tell the story there, Stacks, was let's show 2 moments in the same game. By the way, these weren't like outlier moments. He was pulling this off over and over again through the course of that series.
Yeah, if Furia happens to be one of the teams that gets through for North America into the major, I think they're going to lodge an official request to not have Neo Tokyo in the map rotation because, boy, that is where they go to die.
Yeah, man, it is funny how that starts to happen with certain teams. Specific maps have specific memories associated with it just because it keeps on happening there. Gibbs, let's talk about the stakes and where we are at in the competition right now as far as Rotterdam is concerned. We are sending 5 teams forward here. Our points going to be important. Let's remember, prize pool pretty hefty in this event right now. We can take a look at how much money is on the line. Currently $30,000 for first place. Just a mere $10,000 for every player if you're able to take the top spot out of this event. This is what's on the line today, but let's talk about what's on the line overall right now, Gibbs, as we look forward towards Rotterdam.
So these point gaps are very important. So we see for the top 8, basically it's 3 point gaps each time. That's what you're going to have to watch going into the final tournament because those 3 point gaps are going to make a big difference there. So we have right now we have Energy and V1 battling it out. So whoever wins there is going to move up to either tied for third or fourth. If you're Energy, they'll pass version 1, which would be absolutely huge. Then they can obviously gain more points, 4 more points if they win the entire tournament. So we see FaZe Clan, they're pretty safe. A first in the top 5, they're very likely going. Then we got Space Station and Gen G, both very likely going as well. They will compete to try and take over the overall number 1 at some point. So probably those 3 are safe, I would say. But after that, it's a race between 10 teams for 5 spots. Even going down to Complexity and Shopify, they're at 10 points. But if they get a top 4, they will gain 3 points on a bunch of these teams. And look where we're looking at for 5th right now. 13 points. That 3-point gap is absolutely huge. Right now, we're on pace for an Energy G2 tiebreaker to go to Rotterdam. But we could have a 4-way tie with Complexity and Shopify as well. Like if they can pull off a top 4, while those guys will be sitting down in a top 5 scenario. Then you got Optic and Furia, only 1 point down. So they have to get a top 4 as well to try and pass those teams. So if you're a fan of any of these teams, you really want version 1 to beat NRG, and then you're hoping for at least a top 4 to be in the running. There's still a lot to be played for throughout all of Tournament 3, but I personally want that Energy and G2 tiebreaker. I don't know about you guys, but that's the one. That would
Absolutely
be amazing to see.
Absolutely not.
Bring it on.
And Gibbs, for the people at home who don't look at these numbers all the time, given the fall invitational that's coming up here in 2 weeks, what is the maximum amount of points a team can earn in an event like that?
It's 16 points. So if you win it, you're going to go, like at that point, because you gain so many more points, like as you move up. But like a top 4 will get you that 3-point bump up versus 4 other teams that tie for 5th, right? So that's where teams are looking at. And then you're hoping for the teams that are good right now, like a FaZe, a Space Station, and a Gen G, to also go top 4 with you, because you don't have to catch them necessarily.
Right,
you have to just catch everyone else.
You want them to suck up all your
points.
hoping.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. But for the teams that are, for the fans of teams like Dignitas and stuff, they're currently sitting kind of outside that bubble. A lights out, completely unique performance of getting a win in the Fall Invitational could see their team still through. So
absolutely,
still a little bit of hope there if we didn't mention your name there in that moment. Now let's talk about who we actually think is going to go, because there's so many teams that want to go, so many teams that probably could make noise on an international stage, but only 5 from North America get to here. We're going to play judge and jury the way this is going to work. Gibbs and I are going to be the judge/jury. Don't think about it too hard. And Stax and Dazarin are going to put up their lists of top 5 teams, the teams they think are actually going to go to Rotterdam, and they're trying to convince Gibbs and I of which of which we have to pick one. We have to pick one of their lists.
So I'm just going to say don't lose, and I'll be right back, okay? So just hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, it's they got to convince me, apparently. We'll see what happens with Gibbs.
Wow.
Gibbs has decided to leave here. So which one of you wants to go first? Because one of you will present your case, and then the other person will rebut and present their case, and then you'll get to rebut. So you get to go, if you go first, you're at a disadvantage, but you also get to rebut last.
I'll go first. I'm used to this.
Here we go.
Okay. Dazarin,
right.
give it to me.
So, top 5. Let me think. Let me see. FaZe Clan, Gen G, Space Station Gaming. I feel like those are givens. Now, number 4.
Hold on. I need you to repeat. I was
But I'm just saying, don't
Whoa.
lose. There are consequences. There's harsh consequences if you lose. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
If you lose this event,
Like you lose the judge and jury right now. That's all I'm saying. Now,
Halloween's not until next week.
Okay, all right. So FaZe Clan, Gen G, Space Station Gaming. 4. I'm not looking at Gibbs. I gotta look over here. 4. I'm going G2. Going G2. And of course, number 5, you already know I'm going NRG. NRG at 5. That's gonna be the 5 that go. Do I make the case now, or do I give Stax a
No. So you can present some reasons why if you want.
Okay, well, the first 3 are non-arguable in my opinion. These teams have been pretty consistent over the course of the split so far. G2, I feel like they just had a bad regional this event. I feel like they'll bounce back next time. I just can't imagine this one without G2, especially considering their run from the World Championship. I just feel like they just had a bad Swiss day. NRG's losses have come from teams that have been battling towards the top, whether it's been Gen G or Furia. I feel like NRG now has been proven that they can handle some of these top level teams. They had that sweep of Gen G earlier. And of course, NRG, I think they're going to do well this event and finish this rest of the event and continue on that upwards momentum. So that's why I got NRG.
Okay. Mr. Tax.
Your Honor, honored members of the jury, I'm talking about my friends in Twitch chat. First of all, let's just join me for a moment here.
What is this dude doing?
Here's what you need to know. My friend over here, Mr. Williams, yes, he makes a compelling argument about FaZe, Gen G, Space Station. Obviously, those are slam dunks. But a wise man once told me, to be the man, woo, you gotta beat the man. And what has Furia done? They've beaten NRG. They beat G2. What is version 1 about to do today? They're about to beat NRG. And I've got version 1 and Furia for that very reason. Going to the Rotterdam Major, NRG and G2 get to sit at home and watch the boys play.
Okay, this is a compelling case. Dazrin, you have 30 seconds for a rebuttal.
Your Honor, this man over here is absolutely blasphemous. There is no way you can sit there and tell me a team like version 1, you might as well call that V Beast mode, is making it to this event, because guess what? They got to rely on the Beast. And we've only seen the Beast show up one time, and that was to play against Bora Furia. Meanwhile, Furia, they can't play in the best of 7. Once it gets to game 6, they fall apart. How can you convince me that these two teams deserve a spot to play against some of the best teams in the world when they can barely show up in their own region? Answer me that.
I don't need to convince you. There's no convincing you that NRG won't go. I'm trying to convince reasonable people that know ball, who can go to the major.
I know ball!
Oh, okay, Mr. NRG. No.
Order in the court. Order in the court, Gibbs. I'm going to need you to explain yourself. What is going on here?
I don't know. It's going to be Halloween soon, so I wanted to wear a mask at some point. I'm not going to be in Europe, but, hey, I'm just saying, just don't lose this. There'll be consequences. Maybe one of them will vanish after this and won't cast anymore. Who knows?
What?
That's all I'm saying.
What is happening?
That's all I'm saying.
This is spooky. All right,
wait.
Did they convince
we
you?
got to talk about this, right?
Yeah, because now it's our turn. We got to decide which list we like better.
So it's tough, because I feel like a G2 is pretty solid on Daz's side. But the NRG, it's tough, because V1 NRG, V1 dominates NRG. They beat them 4 times in a row. They beat them at Worlds 4-0. I can't see a world where you don't put V1 in when there's NRG, when they're playing each other today. I just don't see it personally.
So are you? My thought is, I have trouble believing in the list right now that has NRG on it, but I also have trouble believing in a list that doesn't have G2 on it. So I feel kind of tossed up on this one. You're leaning towards Stacks though?
I'm leaning towards Stacks because I think G2, who knows with Swiss, right? And they probably need a top 4 at that point. So I'm leaning towards him because I think there's a chance for Furia, but it's hard because I think both of them got one right and got the other one wrong. So it's so Wave, I'm going to leave it to you. You are the judge, and I'm going to bail out of this because my mask is getting hot. So
okay.
I'll be back. So make a call.
You know what? It's a tossed up case in this moment. Both sides have made good, strong arguments. Both sides have had clear holes in their logic. Ultimately, though, given that V1 is still, man, it really does come down to that. Does this first semifinal does that V1 versus NRG? Which one I feel like on this one? Let's go with Stacks. Congratulations, Stacks. You've won this with V1 and Furia moving forward.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think it really was the sunglasses at the end of the day.
And he matched my outfit too, so it's kind of nice.
You are both wearing.
Did he buy the judges?
Look at hey.
I don't know. Daz, hey, come on, man. I don't know.
For someone who's supposed to be rich, you're awful worried about somebody bribing the judges. I'm just saying.
Well, I guess that means I'm not rich, huh?
Nah, I guess not. Not anymore.
So who's gonna host First Touchdown? Because Daz is gone, right? So it's so I don't know how this goes.
Okay, look, when we designed this game, we did not put jobs on the line, sir.
Hey, I write these pre-shows. I can do whatever I want. All right.
Gibbs, who are you putting forward? If we're assuming FaZe, Gen G, SSG, who are your final 2?
I would think I'm going to go G2 and V1 would be my 2, I think, right now. It's tough, though. Who knows? Tournament 3 is going to be insane. It really comes down to who makes that top 4 run. And then with a Swiss, it's like sometimes it's just who do you get like in that quarterfinal match, right? Like maybe like it'll be a good matchup or not. Like I think there is a case that Energy has a shot because I think they will be in that quarterfinal round. I just don't think they'll win today, so it's going to hurt their chances a bit. But who knows?
It is funny that like NRG versus V1, the first match of the day, is to me like if we play
it
this
feels like a spot
after that. I feel like this becomes so much easier. It's like, but that match, how that goes today, and I genuinely am very tossed up on which side I feel like actually has the advantage, because I could easily see Beast Mode showing up the exact same way. I could see NRG showing up the exact same way and see Beast Mode having a weekday. I could see Common Torment having pop-off days. We've seen both of them show up as well. So who knows what's going to happen here? Let's talk about the first match of the day. Let's get into it. Let's start. I'm already transitioning without even meaning to. Let's a reminder. Here is what's happening today. We are making it to those grand finals. We are crowning a winner of the Fall Cup today. We'll have Gen G Mobile 1 Racing facing off against their opponents there of Space Station. But before that, before we can get to the grand finals, before we can get to that second semifinal, we got to have version 1. The boys in purple taking on NRG. One of these teams moving forward. We've had game 7s between everybody so far, which means we're guaranteed sweeps all day. The matter of question. So win game 1 here, Stacks, and you win the whole thing. That's what the Rocket League logic tells me.
Yeah, no, not a chance. I don't think there's a whole lot that separates these two squads either. I mean, the thing about NRG is, sure, they looked much better yesterday. They looked much better Friday. Got to put it together for an entire weekend, and I really do believe that the top like 10 to 12 teams in this region can all just beat up on each other. And you know, I don't think NRG is head and shoulders above anybody else. I don't think anybody is that far, except maybe FaZe and Gen G. We'll find that out by the end of the day. Version 1, as much as we've talked about Beast Mode, it's a lot more than Beast Mode. Calm had a phenomenal series. He was an absolute menace. He was very distracting for Furia's defense, and I think that played a huge role in V1's victory yesterday. I think he could do the same here against NRG.
Yeah, I'm gonna Daz, I'm gonna make you talk not against your boys, but talk about V1 for a second here. I mean, we've been talking about Beast Mode so much. We heard Tournament saying in the interview like, just kicked back. It wasn't a big deal. But we know for a fact that there's no way Beast Mode actually is 1v3 in any of these teams, right? No matter how much he's popping off in the clutch moments, there are 2 other players on the team. Were Tournament and Com that unnoticeable yesterday, or was the light of Beast Mode just so bright we didn't notice how excellent of a performance Tournament and Com were having as well?
I would say that the statement of Beast Mode doing everything only applies to that game 6. That specific game 6 performance was something that I think a lot of people will remember. When you talk about like legacy and you talk about players and what makes them so great, that's like a first killer moment, but this time it's Beast Mode's moment. You know what I mean? Like it's about that. But I think over the course of that series, there were plenty of times where Khan was setting up some of those plays that were helping V1 score. Staying for Torment on that back end. It was just the fact of that performance from Beast Mode put a spotlight on him over that entire series, because it was when version 1 was down and it looked like they were almost down and out because Fury was on a 3-game run. Beast Mode popped off, and of course, the team as a whole, I think, would also popped off in that game 7 specifically.
Yeah, but that's the hard part, because I feel like Beast Mode, yes, game 6, absolutely him. But I think also game 7, because he scored 1 goal, plus he got that bump, that crucial bump to give them that 2-goal lead at that point. So I feel like Beast Mode really clutched it up at the very end. Yes, I know Common Torment, like, they played their roles and they did what they had to do, but they can't do what Beast Mode can do. And that's the only issue I have with V1, is when Beast Mode goes quiet, you don't see normally a Calm or a Torment really take over a series. So like, if you can find a way to make Beast Mode not do a lot, V1, they get in trouble. So we saw that at Worlds. We saw that throughout this weekend, even like when they played in Swiss, like when they played G2, they were incredibly flat. So we'll see how that all plays off. But Energy, we got to talk about them, because they're a team, and I get it that they get disrespected a lot recently. But now it's 2 days in a row where they have shown their merit. It was a 3-1 in Swiss, and then they win a close quarterfinal with Garrett G pulling off that play. You got to believe that like Energy is back to a certain extent. The issue is when they play in this heads-up matchup, they've played 5 times total when V1 got Beast Mode. and Energy have only won one, and that was a Game 5, the very first time that they met back in winter of that season. So it's not looking great, because after that, it's always been V1's game, including at Worlds where that was a 4-0. So very difficult here, I think, for Energy.
You saying that I gotta believe in NRG again, just like my heart hurts for a second. I'm scared of being hurt again, Gibbs. This is, I mean, Dazzering, quickly here, where we're getting close to game time.
Okay.
You've really been watching this NRG team.
Yes.
What actually has changed? What's actually different in this event versus the last 4 months of play?
Well, it feels like the team's kind of working much more cohesively. It doesn't feel like they're stuck to one plan, so to speak, game plan wise. Like, I think a lot of people last season talked about them being a very defensive team. Doesn't seem like that's the case anymore. We've seen them put on tons of shots offensive wise. The defense is still there, though. They are sitting at #1 in goals allowed, meaning that they have allowed the least amount of goals out of everybody playing in this tournament. So the defense is there, but I think that offense is also transitioned, and everybody's been stepping up on that level as well.
All right, well, let's get into predictions, chat. Let us know how you feel about this one in the Verizon fan vote, #NRG, #V1. I've seen people already trying to get their votes in already. The fans are chomping at the bit here. We'll go down the line. Daz, start with you.
Okay, so like I said, NRG #1 in goals allowed. V1 is also second in shooting and second in goals scored this tournament. Like, we've seen that beast mode performance pop off, but I feel like that was an anomaly. I'm going NRG. I'm going with my boys. You should know that, though, already. Like, NRG, they've been popping off. I think that they can take this whole tournament the way they've been looking. I'm backing them the entire way.
Stacks?
I think Torment has actually been the unsung hero here. He actually plays like some of these younger RLCS rookies. That he's going all the way up to the ceiling. He's aggressively challenging players. It's not something you expect out of an established veteran. I think he continues that. I think V1 takes it.
The heads-up matchup has to go in V1's favor. It is a new energy, like, in a way, so maybe there is a shot. Like, I think it will be close. It'll go at least probably 6, I would say, but I'm going to go V1 here.
Look, you told me there was a chance. You told me this might be a new NRG, Gibbs, and I just
here we go.
Old habits die hard. I gotta go with the NRG on this one, right? Come on, Garrett, we can do it again. Let's go. I believe in it. It can happen. Okay, what does chat think on this? We're pretty split up here on the desk. Chat is behind the general. God. NRG got this one going, folks. Let's get into the Verizon Skybox. Let's go over to James and Stumpy for a highlight match. 2 in a row we're gonna have here. We brought you the bangers. Get up and get loud. It's game day. Let's play some Rocket League.
North American RLCS continues to amaze us, and this game is going to be no exception. I am Stumpy, joined by a dear friend of mine, James Bott, and I've got a little bit of bad news for you here, James. In the last 4 meetings these two teams have had, it has gone version 1's way every single time. But I want you to tell me, why is this one potentially going to be different?
Well, I think a lot of people are asking the question, is this a new NRG? And I think in order to answer that question, yes, they need to beat version 1. Version 1 has had their number. You mentioned it already, Stumpy, but I was actually casting that match at Worlds in the group stage where version 1 swept NRG. NRG only scoring 2 goals that entire series. So I know better than most how much version 1 has had NRG's number. We'll see if they keep that streak of domination going.
But it's still going to come down to version 1 having to play as well as they did yesterday versus Furia. They were phenomenal. They looked like a team that was gonna struggle to be beaten by anybody else. And it was Beast Mode really showing up, because that's how V1 ultimately play their best game. And at the start of the series, that is where they started to excel. Beast Mode got onto a nice level. He was really starting to show what he can do. Then Furia had the answer to him for a couple of games in the middle. 3 games they won in a row, and then V1 managed to close it out. Beast Mode is going to hope to come out of the gates hot again, because that is how he shut down one of the best teams in North America, and it's something that NRG are definitely starting to work that long road back to being.
Beast Mode has been good, and there's some physicality coming out of NRG. We already saw earlier in this game, Calm with a pair of demos, and the demos and bumps from version 1 have been kryptonite for NRG, but NRG is now marching downfield on the attack. Beast Mode trying to tip it over, does get it over Justin Garrett. Gonna air dribble this over to the sideline and gets a 50, but it's right to Torment, who has Beast Mode. The pass comes out, Beast Mode to the backboard, and Beast Mode gets denied by Justin However, the shot put NRG in such a bad spot. Torment able to clean up the rebound.
Justin is centimeters from getting that ball away and clear, and the save itself is beautiful until Torment comes in, and from what I can remember, looks very similar to that squishy flip reset goal where it just goes across the line after an amazing save during World Seasons.
The job.
And then Torment still finishes the job, just this time Torment and Squishy on opposite teams. That's one for the boomers of Rocket League. Garrett G wanting to tap one in. Wasn't a boomer that time. Instead, it goes just onto that back right post. Justin wants to shoot it convincingly in. Falls back to that defensive NRG. Squishy going for bumps. We've already seen him bump off the backboard, but this time wants to be a little bit more grounded with that aggression.
We have seen some good pressure from NRG, and that's a nice 50, but Torment was there waiting. Garrett gets flip reset by Torment, who is happy to melt time off the clock, give his teammates time to recover. Beast mode. It looked like he was playing Sideswipe there for a moment. All the patience. Squishy again. Maintaining the dribble. Beast mode saves it, and there was no one to clean up that rebound. It was similar to the version 1 play where Beast mode does the heavy lifting. Torment was there to clean it up, but for NRG, when they had the ball in a vulnerable spot, no one was there to put that ball in.
And it was great soft play from Squishy as well, because he was able to slow the game down massively, where V1 want to play fast and they want to get absolutely crazy with the ball. If NRG can slow it down, throw them off kilter, make sure they get into positions just too early to challenge it convincingly, that'll then slow them down and mean that they're just not feeling as comfortable, I'm sure, as they would like. But in this first couple of minutes, first 3 minutes of this game, we've seen that lead for V1 after V-Mode's shot. Com can just about tip that ball back over. Gets himself back underneath and around to get it high and above into that back half, and Garrett G has to collect. Immediately challenged by Beast Mode, not letting them come out of that orange half at all.
And that was a world-class defensive touch from Com, not only to make the difficult read, but to get the power on that clear. It is really difficult to do that. Com is making his presence felt. And like I had mentioned before, Stumpy, the last time these two matched up, only 2 goals for NRG. Well, it's not looking much better offensively for them. We're approaching that final minute. Version 1 are keeping NRG down. It doesn't look like NRG is going to be able to get back up.
There's great pressure there for a little while from NRG, but then Garrett, he turns back around where I don't think he should have done. I think Squish was already working his way back into the orange half. He could have just continued aggressing on that ball, but Justin going for the air duel. Garrett can't get the touch to it that time. A little bit too slow yet again, and a misplay from B-Mode on that backboard leaves it to Com to clear it away instead. Only 20 boosts, but eyes up that back corner, will go for it. And then Justin, but being able to get that past that blue half means that Justin can now get that flip reset onto Squishy. What an assist!
Oh, it's Justin from his own backboard. It even looked like he got bumped a little bit from Com. He used up every ounce of boost. Oh, wait, I take that back. He had 1 boost left after that play. And Squishy able to slam that one by his old teammate, 75 miles per hour on that zinger. And NRG have some life.
Justin can walk over that 1 boost, can buy himself a penny sweet for the road, because that was a sweet, sweet pass he was able to give on to his longtime teammate now. Beast Mode from that backboard, going along within Squishy, instead able to intercept, and Justin wants to go for 1 more bumper to the ceiling. Sees Com having to stretch the nose of that Fennec. He's able to get it a little bit further than NRG would have wanted to the sky. Com goes, instead forgoes the ball, instead goes for Garrett G, a man who scored a worldie yesterday, got the title Goat, Arrett Goat, because of all the G's, all the goats that he was putting forward. Overtime in game number 1, NRG versus V1.
In this game, too, Stumpy, I have been very impressed by Com's defense. Even on that last Squishy play, Com has been rock solid, keeping NRG at bay for the most part. Even got a piece of Justin and ends the play that Justin was trying to kickstart there. Com, we'll see if that defense can open up some opportunities for a counterattack. So far, NRG.
That's Com.
Look, you can already see him getting angry.
There he is.
Beast Mode joining the party as well.
And Com yesterday, you were saying how well defensively he's been today, but offensively yesterday, he was second in the tournament for demos, behind by literally 0.01 behind first, so near enough first in demos. And he is currently leading the tournament in his shooting percentage, shooting for about every 3 shots he has, a goal will probably come of it. And he wants to be going for another one here, but Squishy to intercept. So Com, if he's looking at that defensive work, then they have got a lot on their plate, NRG, to handle.
Certainly do. And Tom able to get the stop. There's a pinch that goes across, and that Squishy turns with no boost. Beast mode will be able to take possession. Garrett, high pop, tough spot for Torment. Torment will make the read. Garrett gets a piece of it. Justin, double tap, trying to land back on the wall. Squishy now, shot opportunity. First touch control, gets jostled by Beast mode, and it was enough to throw him off.
100 boost over Beast mode, but as he gets intercepted by Garrett G, is going to force V1 yet again into their own half. Beast mode did get the tip over the top, but now again in the midfield, Torment and Garrett G, the two veterans, battling it out against each other. Com rushingly goes for that ball, pass back to Beast mode, and Squishy again slowing down, stays in the position that keeps himself threatening. A bump coming in, throwing that defense off again. Justin intercepting, can pass back to Garrett G, and the 100 boost stolen. Torment, he has to go back for plan B, and plan B arrives in the form of Beast mode.
Justin, flip reset into the 50. Torment was waiting on the backboard. How do you know where that one was going? And now pinch up Garrett, racing Beast mode. Beast mode trying to read Garrett's hit, and came close.
Would have loved for that dunk to have gone in. Just that absolute, the read to be able to jump so accurately in front of the ball, dunk on Garrett G, but instead Garrett able to get it far enough so Beast mode couldn't even make contact. Beast mode now on that right wing with 0 boost. That means he's going to be a lot more toothless than he would potentially like. Com onto that back corner. He's going to try and pinch it. No, instead goes for that flip reset. But again, intercepted by Squishy. This has been incredibly back and forth. So many chances for both teams, but neither defense really breaking down and letting any goals in.
Saw Beast mode going for a play there. Garrett actually bumped him off that ball. That is the right play to make in many situations. When you got a player like Beast mode going for the ceiling, similar to Yan, sometimes you just play the body because you know they're going to get that touch by you.
Yeah, if you can go for the man, not the ball. Just go for a two-footed, studs up, see what you can do. Try and take him down as Beast mode shoots on target. Garrett G whips around and is able to clear that one away. A demo opens up the net convincingly, but come again in the midfield. He's the man who's covering it before these shots even become shots. Nothing apparating for NRG for quite a while here. Version 1 taking full advantage of that. They are now starting to continue that pressure as and when they get it. With 0 boost, Garrett G has to slow it down, but not where he wants to because Beast mode is waiting and lurking and air dribbling into the orange half. Justin to miss, Beast mode to pass. No one there to receive.
Tom, that's all his boost. Torment up to Beast mode double tap ball. Justin gets in the way and is able to keep that ball from going out to the middle. Garrett, we've seen him be willing to slow the play down and be patient even just moments before. NRG finding ways to deal with this pressure and this physicality of version 1, but version 1 also able to get shot after shot. We've seen Beast mode so many times have that ball where he can at least look to go for that double tap or that aerial play.
And in the air is where he's most deadly. That's where we're seeing the magnificence come from the body of his Octane. He pinches his central Beast mode there to receive the back and forth Beast mode Torment, a deadly duo.
Justin blasts back, goes to block off that near post pass, but still was not able to do it. It was a perfect pass from Torment. And that team play it'll be enough. Taking NRG down in what was a very close game 1.
I mean, NRG, they put on 12 shots to the V1 there. I said they didn't have much pressure for about a minute or two in that overtime, but the rest of the time, they were fully sending the ball at the net. They got 1 goal out of it. And version 1, they only end up with 7 shots. They've just got that slight more, I think, finish to them. Otherwise, they're passing. They're going for a couple of backboard plays, and they are trying to be a bit more deceptive rather than going for for that clear chance every single time. Version 1 winning game number 1, and Beast mode celebrating quite happily, getting that overtime goal and a great passing play. I love a good passing play.
And this just goes to show you the flexibility of version 1. A lot of times when they're playing NRG, they're going full demo, full bump. We did see some of that. There were a couple early demos from Com chasing players out at the midfield, trying to throw the rotations off. But it just goes to show you how adaptable version 1 can be. We saw Beast mode playing incredibly well. Com's defense was actually out of this world. It was world-class defensive game from Com. But then also you got Torment slotting that perfect pass. It was an all-around team win for version 1. And even when the demo game wasn't necessarily working perfectly, they found another way to win.
And what I love seeing as well from Torment is when we don't talk about him for a little while, and yet we still see version 1 winning, because that's the role that he knows that he plays as well. He's not there to get all the demos and the bumps and everything, all the plays that are really going to be showing off on those highlight reels. He is there mostly to fill in the backline, make sure that Com and Beast Mode are able to do something with it. A triple commit, going into the fake, into the pass, and the save from Garrett G. The screenshot of that triple commit, that's not going to be pretty, but they escape with the skin of their teeth, NRG.
And I actually think that's a huge save from Garrett, who we've already seen make some big saves today. Garrett bailing NRG out of that triple commit, because if they let that one in, that's something that would haunt them for quite some time.
Justin trying to get that onto the backboard, and with Garrett again slowing it down, taking notes from Squishy, who was doing it so well earlier. Then leads to Garrett for the shot, and that all came down from Garrett slowing it a little bit. It then forces, it was Beast Mode into a bit of an awkward touch. Then it forced Torment. Justin over central towards Garrett, who was there without comms knowledge or intelligence, able to shoot it just below the crossbar.
I mean, maybe just game sense. But Garrett quickly turned out. If he's quick to rotate out and he doesn't linger for a moment, if he rotates out, there's no way that shot's going in. And we saw that happen last game for NRG, where they had the rebound from the Squishy shot. No one was there on the goal line. Whereas for version 1, on that beast mode play, Torment was right there. So you're seeing NRG start to be ready for those rebounds, play a little bit more aggressively, and be ready to use those rotations and let a player turn.
And that's exactly what a game 1 can be sometimes. It'll be a learning experience. You saw that, okay, they must have noticed, guys, we had some chances, but there was no one there available to get that final shot. Well, let's change that. Game number 2, Aquadome will be different. And Garrett G, he's got something different here as he outspeeds Beast Mode.
And this was an interesting play, because you saw the demo from Beast Mode, and Garrett, there was another demo attempt on him, and he was able to dodge it at the midfield and get that touch. Beast Mode, it was a tough place for him to be, and Garrett doesn't go for the shot there. If he goes for the shot, Beast Mode's probably going to deflect that wide. Instead, had trust in his teammates, just hit it to the backboard, and it was the right call. And NRG now up by 2. This is a much different looking NRG squad.
And this the NRG squad, James, that we've wanted to see for such a long time. These players should be world-class. They should have got better results than, and I know people are going to say they got top 8 of worlds, they got 9th to 12th in regional, but we want more. They need to be competing those championships yet again. And with blocks like that and shots coming in, they are looking like they've got a lot more venom in their strikes nowadays.
You're 100% right, Stumpy. The expectations are there. 4 out of the 6 players on the field with world championship titles. Torment, the only one on version 1 with that title, and he won it with Squishy. There's so much history on the field, and the expectations when you've been a player playing at that level for so long, you have that expectation on yourself more than anything.
Justin trying to outplay the entire backline defense, but Com, again, able to be more defensively minded and is able to clear it away. Great pass center, but with Beast Mode, they're ready to receive. He's able to clear it central, but Justin rotating around nicely, falls it down to Com. Com air dribbling over the top of a couple. Beast Mode tries to go for the bump on Justin, but instead gets out of sorts himself. With Garrett with only 50 boost, he pinches it perfectly into the midfield. Just get any distance on him at Beast Mode, this time winning that foot race.
Squishy's going to try to keep this streak NRG has going. Under 2 minutes left to play. There's a 2-goal lead, and now we're starting to see some demos. The demo forcing Justin into an awkward spot, and it's cleared out, but Com will have tons of time, full boost, heavy first touch, but he does beat Justin out, but Justin able to get the trade.
And a great trade it was too, because it's just fallen down dead into the midfield. Now we're finally seeing it get lifted back up, and NRG are going to be the recipients of this ball. Com knows he's got a little bit of time, but misplays it, a poor touch. Manages still to get the flip reset, God knows how. With only 12 boost, though, he then reverses back towards that NRG net. Com, leave the play, understand where you need to be. Although that looked great, I don't think that was what you've been rehearsing.
Yeah, Com, improv master. he almost pulled that together.
He did.
Still, version 1 do have time, and they're on the attack now. Shot opportunity.
Open.
The shot comes in, and it's good. Torment on a tight angle, recognizing that everyone from NRG was out of net. Squishy was being harassed by Com.
And it was also that great dunk from Beast Mode. Knows that, okay, the bump is coming in. If I rush the ball, then this should fall well for one of my teammates to go and shoot from, and Torment was in the perfect place at the perfect time. Only 1 goal splitting these two. In the final minute of Aquadome, NRG need to hold on.
And this is when I think NRG might start to sweat a little bit. Version 1 has had their number. They got swept at Worlds. They lost game 1, and now a late surge thanks to a play from Tom that is really reminiscent of all the success that Version 1 has had against them. It came from a bump, an aggressive play. See if NRG can close it out. They have struggled in the past to close out tight games against top teams. And Version 1, like I said, Stumpity, they have had NRG's number.
Yes, absolutely. But NRG, they might have changed their number. They might have put them onto that blocked caller list, because so far in this game, they have done a great job in shutting them down. Squishy, again, the time management, taking to the ceiling, slowing it down just a little bit, and then committing on that ball, getting the shot, getting the goal, and securing the game.
Squishy with the bar down shot after the 58 boost and used it perfectly against his old teammate Torment. And Squish, the importance of that shot can't be understated. We've seen it already. The 0-second goals that are possible at this level, how good players are at keeping it in the air to secure that game against a team like Version 1 that has been so good against NRG. That is going to do wonders for the mentality of NRG as they get a big game win. They were looking for this one for a while.
And, you know, this series doesn't just have the implications of we want to prove that we're better than Version 1. We want to prove that we're better than NRG, whoever ends up winning it. There are so many implications because of our new format. Going through into that major, sure, both these teams, they are going to be in that third regional. We know that they're going to be competing for those spots, but the points at the top are so tight. Like, between 4th and 9th, there's currently a 5-point difference. Between 5th and 9th, there's a 3-point difference. It is so tight in that realm. And right now, NRG and Version 1, they are 2 points apart. It is incredible just how tight these are, and making sure that you get these wins over a direct opponent. If you can leapfrog them, that is vital for your chance to make in the major.
You're 100% right, Stumpy. These points, they come at a premium and at a time where North America has never been more competitive. We can see teams make deep runs, and then also teams not even make the playoffs. We saw that happen with G2. It was almost inconceivable to think that would even be possible. And that is exactly what happened. So these teams, when they make it into the playoffs, they have an opportunity for a big points grab. You have to do it because there's no guarantee. You can make it to the finals one week and then fail to even make top 8 the next.
And right now, any G2 fans are going to hate this next sentence. Either side of them is Version 1 and NRG. So if NRG end up winning, then G2 get knocked out of that 5th spot. So ideally, if you're a G2 fan, you want to see Version 1 taking this, but it still puts them further ahead of G2 in that 5th place. So there's a lot going on. They've just made it harder for themselves. But both these teams are just thinking about themselves, making sure that they are the ones that are the benefactors of those points, because it's so important as we go through the rest of the season to do well early on, because then you don't need to be chasing points in winter and spring.
We're starting to shift our focus back, not to the season, but to this game. And this series has been back and forth. Game 1, we saw NRG come out swinging, but the passing play, Torment to beast mode, the saves from Garrett G have been wonderful. Garrett, another clutch save. Game 2, NRG seemed to have figured out Version 1, but Version 1, one of those teams that is so good at adapting. We've seen them do it so much at the international land stage as well, where if one approach isn't working, switch to another, and they find ways to win.
Just trying to change out how you approach a game is going to be so important. It changes how you're playing, it changes the vibe of the entire series. Torment shooting that remarkably wide by about 3 ball lengths. So maybe fancy the pass from it instead, or just complete misplay. Either way, it's not going to be falling to a V1 goal early on in this game. Goes to the midfield. Torment this time shooting it on target, but with less power. Try and get somewhere in between that, Torment, and I reckon you've got a good chance of scoring. Instead, just ignores the ball, go for Justin, get rid, make it a 2v3.
And that pressure is starting to pay off. You see in the low boost. Garrett finally getting the corner and Squishy trying to break out.
0 boost.
Justin calls Garrett off. Garrett now waiting to go in.
Garrett!
Plays the hit from Torment, but Torment recognized that Garrett didn't go. Garrett was playing Torment's hit there, and Torment called his bluff.
I saw a bit of an opening for Garrett, and I was just desperately thinking, just shoot, just go for it, come on. Don't go back to what the game one was, because he did so well in that second one. Justin now passing to Garrett, goes up high for it, gets that touchdown, scrapes in front of the goal. Beast Mode with a vital block, because that was finding its way in.
These teams reading each other quite well. Over half the game gone. I just glanced up, surprised to see it. This one's going quick. And you knew this was going to be a low-scoring matchup. Both these teams, very solid defensive teams. There's a demo from Com, but it leads to a shot opportunity, and it's good for Justin. Justin recognizing his moment.
Scoring first again. NRG are currently 14-0 in games that they have scored first in. They are on a streak of not losing once they have got that first goal behind them. Brilliant news for NRG fans. Brilliant news for NRG. But version 1, they want to be upsetting that dream.
And for version 1, that's a very difficult play because Com got the demo, but also he passed that ball off the backboard. You know, if Com doesn't get that much on the ball, it's not going to be a shooting opportunity for NRG. So NRG a bit fortunate there, but that is the mark of a good team, is when you're not getting many opportunities, the one you get, you put away.
Good demo from Garrett on Beast Mode on that back line, getting rid of that danger man. As Beast Mode respawns though, he is straight back into the action, and also with that 100 boost he picked up as Torment gives it to that teammate, very altruistically of him. Goes low with that pass, wants to get it past Squishy, but instead Squishy saves her way into that side wall. Com able to get one flip reset into the center. Beast Mode to receive, but it goes a bit too high to get anything. And just V1 are going on a tear against NRG. The demos are raining in, and NRG are struggling to deal with it as the boost starts to dwindle. Only Garrett with only 50, and he's just burned a lot of it.
Well, right now they are dealing with it, and it's kind of like, you know, I talked about Yan and Furia, but Furia is a team that gets demoed all the time, and they still manage to get these wins and deal with the pressure. And those demos from Com, how much did they actually do? Squishy able to clear that ball, and he gets another demo.
That must be seven.
Going for Garrett at the midfield, but still it's not enough to get version 1 possession.
All right, Com, I know you said you were second in demos going into this game, mate, but you don't need to prove it to me. Just get a goal instead of these demos. Get a pass. Beast Mode is there. And Beast Mode shoots wide. What were all the demos for?
Well, they were for the opening, and that net was wide open. Beast Mode, we've seen him hit what seemed like impossible shots, but that was a wide open opportunity created by Com. And now another chance. Com's demo clears the path, and Torment will walk it.
Com just gets boost, goes man, gets demo, Torment gets goal. With 11 seconds left, V1 have drawn this game up, and NRG are on the ropes. I think that's going to give incredible confidence to Com now and to his teammates. Com goes for the shot, but Squishy is back in time. That could have been disastrous.
And Com was able to steal the corner boost from Garrett. This could still be a chance for version 1 at 0 seconds. They've got the boost advantage. Garrett, that's all he had. Justin there for the backboard. Beast Mode trying to keep the ball in play, won't be able to do it. And we've got overtime thanks to the demos from Com. That was one of the craziest demo plays that I've seen.
I wish that we had demos as a live update on that scoreboard. We need that. Please, just the devs of Rocket League, put it on the scoreboard, because that, he must be on 8 or 9 so far. Com again going up for that challenge. It's on target. Torment able to save away Squishy's shot. That one wide, the pass forcing Torment and Beast Mode to go on it. And now Justin fancying going for a couple of blocks on Beast Mode himself, getting physical at NRG.
NRG had a chance there. Justin needed to get that ball out to the mid to a teammate, but now we see version 1 on the counter. Com with a tip. Beast Mode picking up that mid boost. It's going to go over his head, and Com will take over. Hard hit to the ceiling. Garrett to Justin in the NRG corner. Justin trying to dribble it around the corner. Garrett wraps around the ball. Torment looking for a demo. Beast Mode getting a 50. We'll see if more V1 demos come out. There's a clear downfield. Torment with tons of time will control it with the first touch. Hits it off to the sidewall with the second.
Tons of time, but Garrett bearing down on him forces him into an awkward position. And so Justin falls down with one boost. Beast Mode calling his bluff. Only 18 for him. Gets that reset. Doesn't use it. Com to shoot. But Squishy to save. Com again on a demo. That must be 10 in this game. V1 so far have averaged 8.5 in the series per game. I am confident that Com has got more than that on his own.
It seems like, I mean, we'd have to wait and parse the replay, or if anyone's out there with a whiteboard counting the notches, that would work too. But one thing's for certain, and Com is demoing more than anyone that you have seen this weekend.
Defensively, he's also been stalwart, able to get it onto that left-hand side with Justin intercepting. It falls back to beast mode. Up high, no one on the backboard until Squishy takes the initiative. Torment with the backflip, and this now leads onto NRG getting a lot of pressure, and Squishy's going to take full advantage of it.
Flip reset from Justin. He's going to still go for the 50, and now this is a dangerous situation as well. Com will flick it over to beast mode. He had options whether to go left or right, and it's shut down by Garrett, and gets the mid boost. Nice first touch. Flip reset has Justin on the rebound. Com takes Justin out, and the save comes out. Version 1 handling that pressure wonderful.
2.5 minutes into this overtime, we're approaching the time now where the previous one ended. Torment again with a backflip in the midfield. That man needs to check his controller, because that's not going to fly if it continues happening throughout this series. Garrett G wanting to push on Com, but instead slows it down and then blocks in the end. Great slow down play, but beast mode read that happening from the start. Squishy to tip it to the backboard, only 20 boost, and the one beneath him stolen. Beast mode now being offensive for boost, not with demos, but instead just trying to whittle down the finite resources that we're seeing. Torment bumping one, but Justin saving it just away from the goal line.
You saw Com trying to get that demo on Squishy out. There's a pinch that goes across the field. Justin gets demoed by Com. Com isn't even playing the ball anymore. It's chasing Justin down again. Com stealing the corner boost. Going for the rebound play. Beast mode does have a shot, but Squishy there to block it out. Squishy clearing the ball downfield right to beast mode, and version 1 regained and reset for another attack.
Beast mode wanted to loft that ball towards Com, but he was unable to get anything too great from it. Torment in the midfield misses that ball, instead has to recover and then go up. Justin just there for the block, drops it down towards Garrett G, but instead cleverly this time rotates back round. A block attempted by Garrett, but Com able to clear it away. Passing back towards Torment, sees beast mode midfield. Will he pass this one off? Because their fakes, their aerial plays into then the first man dipping away, and then the second man comes in for the shot. They have been deadly historically for version 1. I wonder if they're going to try it. That time, Com for the air dribble. Leaves it for Garrett G to save it. Shot chance, beast mode to shoot. He just weakly takes the control of it. 4 minutes in this overtime.
It was 4 minutes and 10 seconds last overtime. Com trying to keep it around the same.
Demo.
More demos coming out from Com. Beast mode joining the party. Squishy will go for a high pop. Looks like he wanted to threaten the demo himself. Now going for a 50 shot opportunity for Justin. He puts it wide and is out of boost. Squishy keeping that ball in the version 1 half. But now we see it break out. Another demo from Com. Com, he's going to try to get Garrett on respawn. Is there a more frustrating player to play against than Com?
No. The answer is no, James. He's ridiculous and horrifying and a horrible cockroach of a player, and I adore him for it. He is invasive and infuriating, and he is everywhere, and he is ruining the day of NRG, and yet we keep talking about it. NRG's defense has still held strong. I don't know how they're doing it.
Well, how long can they do it for? More shots being peppered at net. Beast mode trying to get this rebound out. Torment beat to the ball by Garrett. Com will be there in time. Garrett with the corner boost steal. Wanted to get a 50. Com was trying to get that ball out. Stopped by Squishy. Torment off the ceiling. Torment again, second effort. Finds beast mode on the outlet pass. Garrett to himself will boom it to the backboard. This has been a intense, emotional overtime so far, Stumpy.
This has been, I think, NRG's personal hell. They are existing just to be destroyed, and I don't blame them. You know, we've seen before allegations that NRG say that if you demo too much, then you are maybe trolling scrims. I don't know how true that is, but it has been floated as a theory, and this time it is not just scrims, it is the real deal in the RLCS.
And to pull it off so effectively is quite impressive. You have players who can double flip reset, double tap, and have that much control over their car. And they're using that control to try to get away from Com, and it's not working.
6.5 minutes are on their way in this overtime with Garrett on the backboard and Com going for that bump. Leaves just beast mode to shoot, but with no save credited, it just comes down to, again, that midfield. The midfield has been vital, seeing where those transition of resources comes from. Con removing Garrett and himself from the pitch, wanting to just be that player to get anybody rid, and if it involves himself, so be it.
Tom and Garrett, it's a big 50. It bounces out to Torment. First touch good from Torment. He'll knock it upfield. Beast Mode going for the block. Squishy gets it around him. Squishy now going head-to-head with Torment. Torment out to Beast Mode. Beast Mode the chip up. Torment, the double tap. That was threatening, almost on target. Torment reminding everybody to watch out. Now Beast Mode will drop it in right at 7 minutes of overtime.
Forget 7 minutes in heaven. That is 7 minutes of hell for NRG. Generated entirely by Com going for demo after demo, sending them into a fiery oblivion. And after 12 minutes of gameplay, they walk away with 1 game. That is how close we are at right now with NRG in version 1. And that defense from NRG, they rocked 16 saves in total. The shots coming in were 23 from version 1. Unreal.
That was an anomaly of a game.
I missed the demos. I didn't see what the demos were.
I mean, we're gonna have to see how many. Was it 20? 20 demos? I think.
I didn't see it on our graphic. I was looking at the game.
We had one
instead.
job, and it was to look at how many demos.
I can't believe
we failed. But that was like I said, Stumpy, an anomaly. You don't see many games like that at this level, where a player like Com can get that many demos, and for it to be an effective strategy.
And for it to be the North American player record. Com just set it. He had 20 demos in that game. And not only did Com beat the record by 2, version 1 have now drawn with the record of 25 demos in a game by a team. That is horrific to play against and inspirational for any demo enthusiast watching. I'm looking at you, Rocket Sledge.
He pulled a Rocket Sledge in an RLCS match. What a match!
Unreal.
Or version 1. You know, it takes a lot for a team to be good in Rocket League. It's not just mechanics. It's not just rotations. You have that chemistry, that synergy, that full picture that you have to paint. And man, the paint that Com uses, it's beautiful and horrifying.
And it's also spread all over every single NRG player as they walk out of game number 2 or the game number 3, absolutely battle-scarred.
Garrett, flip reset. Pass over to Justin. Justin blocked, rebound to Squishy. Squishy!
Oh!
He goes for the top corner. He's denied by Com, who can do it all, apparently.
Doing everything is exactly what Com is going to want to do in this game too, where he was able to get, you know, those demos and those the defensive plays as well. But offensively, yesterday, he was the man for version 1. He's just changed that tune. Torment there wanted to go for a bump on Garrett G, but every time it seems like an NRG player is demolished. It's that 2-headed, 3-headed Hydra. And Com, he's just going to keep swiping away, trying to whittle it down to just a tail.
He has the tools to do it. Torment almost hit that double tap in overtime. Torment, he's been talking about in his interviews how much he has been working on his mechanics. Version 1, a triple threat team. There's the shot. It's going to be a pass out to Torment. Torment denied. Com shot. It's going towards the opposite post, and it bounces in. I thought it was going to get saved, but no.
So did I. Was it Squishy who went for the save on this, or Justin? Squishy tries to go around, but flips a little bit too early, so has little control of his car. Actually moves back outside of the ball as well, so isn't able to get back behind it and then flick it out into the corner. Version 1, a goal in 2 minutes, when previously it took them 7 in that overtime.
Squishy getting some revenge. Garrett high over the ball, but not high enough. The shot went too tall. Squishy gets the corner boost steal. Com now slowing it down. Gets popped by 1. Garrett, light touch. Com back to the middle. Garrett will clear it off to the side. Will get boost. No, he'll leave the boost and actually leave the ball. Chance now for Beast Mode. Beast Mode! Rebound opportunity. Panic in front of net for NRG, but they get away.
It was Beast Mode just falling so slowly, delicate as a feather, with the boxing, punching power of Mike Tyson, isn't able to deliver the killing blow, but he is going to be threatening that backline. Remember when NRG was slowing down the game so effectively? I think Beast Mode is wanting to do something similar.
Honestly, I would say Version 1 and Com punching more like Goku. It has been unbelievable to see the power difference from Version 1 compared to NRG when it comes to the demo gameplay.
Under 2 minutes now left in this game, and V1 with that lead. Squishy wanted to shoot on target, does so, but not threateningly enough until Garrett comes in for that double tap. I believe he had the flip reset on that play as well. With 20 boost, Beast Mode wants to work it down the pitch. Thwarted halfway as Torment then sends it just to absolutely nobody sharing the same color as him.
Version 1, the win here, you feel like that would just put NRG down and out, and they are controlling the pace of this game. NRG showing life in game 2, even in that last game, fighting through the demos to have a chance, but now Version 1, they got that win at 7 minutes. They got the 4 minute and 10-second overtime win. Things have been going Version 1's way.
Torment a second ago had such a great pass down from Beast Mode, but just couldn't finish it. So Beast Mode, he fancies doing it all himself. Garrett G says no this time. Chance in the final minute for Com to score. Garrett again saving away. His defense has been pretty much perfect this game. The only chance that Version 1 had is when it was just so scary to try and even defend against. Garrett G passing towards the center, just into shoot. Beast Mode diving across the net heroically.
And that looked like it was going in. It was going far post. The pass was fantastic. The shot was there. But Beast Mode and Version 1's defensive stops, they have been dazzling. Oh, and Beast Mode pitching it off the post and in. Can you beat this man? I don't think so.
Almost well beating out Squishy on that play and just going so low with it, then falls to Beast Mode to pinch it on off that post. 25 seconds for NRG to get 2 when they've not been able to get one for about, I don't know, 10-ish minutes of gameplay. And even more, because it was the 5 plus the 7 plus the 3 minutes or whatever it was. It is a long time since NRG have scored, aided by that overtime. The final 20 is going to see V1 sitting back, slowing things down a little bit more because they do not need to rush.
Walk this one in. Justin. Past it. It's a hard shot, and even that is saved by Beast Mode. Beast Mode. He's a cold-blooded killer. You saw him on the 50-50, putting his nose straight down to the ground, getting the 50, pushing that ball in net. We saw him make the dive, far post to get the save. You see the near post save. Beast Mode did it all that game. The defense from Version 1 really has elevated them, though, above NRG. You had mentioned it, Stumpy, a long scoring drought for NRG, and they have been good scoring opportunities. I think against a lot of teams, the plays NRG makes, the shots that they've taken would be going in. But even that save from Com wrapping around, blocking that upper 90, they have been inspired saves coming out from Version 1.
I think, you know, when you look at how that game ended up going, it was so much offensive pressure from Version 1 that whenever NRG had a chance, their idea was, okay, we're going to try and put it on the backboard and put it towards the net, not that scarily, just so you have to get the touch, and then we can follow up and then get the actual shot to come in. The issue was Version 1 kept saving it away so well every time that NRG's plan just completely fell apart because it relies on them to make poor saves. That's not what Version 1 do. Version 1 make great saves time and time again, and if you're putting shots on net, you need to make it convincing. And James, just to go back to the unbelievable demo play that we saw from Com in that previous game where he set the North American record, he had 20 demos in that game, and there are 40% of players in this tournament entirely who have had less than that in the entire tournament themselves. He got more demos that game than 40% of players have in this second regional. How ridiculous.
It felt like an anomaly watching that game. Well, guess what? Turns out it was.
Just silly. It's horrible.
He's different. He's just different. And the fact that it's working is the part that's crazy.
He's different, he's built different, and he forced NRG to rebuild their cars different with more armor plating than ever they have seen.
The junkyard going to be full up after today's game. Wasteland looking at all these potential scraps, and they're thanking Tom for all the work he's doing. NRG have so much to fight back from. 2 overtime losses. The North American record of demos in a single game and by a single player and by a team made in this series. So it emotionally taxing. It's got to be physically taxing at this point. But version 1, they must be happy. They have been living in NRG's head rent-free for what seems like a year.
And NRG, they didn't take that time out. And I'm a massive proponent of stopping that, the incredible, what's the word, the being able to shut down your opponent as often as you can, you know, trying to stop their momentum in its tracks. And finally, NRG's momentum may well be turning. Garrett G outspeeding and Torment bumped away from the save.
And that bump was actually crazy. It was a wraparound bump from Justin. So we're seeing NRG get their hands dirty. And that was such a good bump from Justin. And we see that the infield pass plus the team bump, it's going to take dynamic plays like that to beat this version 1 defense that has been rock solid.
And need I remind you, James, 14 times out of the last 14 games that NRG have gone ahead with that first goal, they have ended up winning that game. But my God, Com, who even are you?
Com gets pre-jumped by Garrett.
Huh?
Squishy is expecting Com to take the shot at some point, thinks it's never coming, but Com reads it off the ground. The bounce, that play was so beautiful. It was so creative. The depth that Com has, it's like looking into bottomless waters.
Com is like a Rottweiler that also just moonlights as an artist. Because the fact that he's able to pack such a punch and can bite and chew through any opponent and then does something that incredible and inspires artistry around the world, I don't believe that NRG are going to have the fortitude to come back from that. In complete honesty, that is ridiculous. And then bumped in the backline by Beast Mode. Com and Beast Mode switching lives in some kind of Freaky Friday situation.
And another belly flop flip reset. Beast Mode leading the play. All Com wanted to do was slow the play down. That's why he hit off the ball like that, giving Beast Mode time to get in there for the bump. This version 1 team, I mean, how are they losing? If you're playing this well, how do you lose? They are playing out of this world.
There was another reset game from Com on that ball, but shut down early enough so it wasn't too threatening. Halftime in this game, an NRG streak of those wins after going first on the risk, and also this series on the line. This would stop them from reaching that grand finals, and those points are so important. Beast Mode sending it towards the net, but just pipped away by Justin. A loose touch from Garrett and then faked out by Beast Mode. Com with 0 boost, hangs about, slows it down, knows that one more goal would be great, but they don't need to push the issue.
Time running out for NRG. There's still some hope left, and Com jumps for that. Perhaps getting the defense a bit out of position, but Garrett fended off the ball by Com.
There's another fake too. Com just hasn't managed to slow that game down. It's going to bounce very nicely here for version 1, but with no one there and Torment getting that back boost. It's then Beast Mode with a chance to shoot. Com again going for that play on the ball, just keeping it away, slowing it down. Torment central, but he passes no, instead just blocks off for that 50. The back boost this time taken by Squishy, but with a fake coming in, it leads to Beast Mode shooting, and the demo on Com shuts down that offense from V1 just for a moment. The final 90 seconds is upon us.
On Com, looking for the bump on Garrett. If he landed that, that would have been the 3rd goal for version 1, and he came within inches. Com dunked by Squishy, but it's a shot opportunity for Beast Mode, who launched it high. Low boost for Justin, and the corner boost gets stolen. Things not looking good for NRG, but looking up for version 1. Com waiting for a chance. Now Justin will break out. Didn't get the flip reset. Wasn't the touch he was looking for. Garrett trying to wrap this around. Com and Beast Mode both on the back wall. Pinch off the ceiling. No one from NRG there. Torment got bumped by Com.
Fake.
And Garrett, the score because of it. This was a team bump on the back wall. Com, in his frenzy, didn't realize that Torment was a teammate.
Com saw red, bumped blue, and opened the net up to get that equalizing goal for NRG. 47 seconds left. Wasteland is delivering.
Will we see another overtime? We've had so much overtime in this series so far, over 12 minutes, or around 12 minutes. Dom, the block bounces up off the ceiling, now out to Garrett.
1v1.
Beast Mode will take it in a 1v1 against Garrett. Garrett bumps Beast Mode off the ball. Torment will push it wide. Justin was there to block it. Oh, a side flip from Com. Com trying to pass this over. Squishy reads the touch. Beast Mode, nice play. Now going to go for the solo play. Gets the demo, but bumped back into the ball. Torment the touch. Throws Com off. Justin got that clear downfield. Com back to the Virgin 1 corner. Beast Mode jumps. It's still bouncing.
1v1. Boom.
Com has the dribble. The flick. Saved by Garrett. Beast Mode keeping it alive. And there we have it. Overtime once more. This time it's for a chance to go to the grand finals for Version 1. NRG, they have to score this to stay alive.
That 0 seconds just proving how many chances a team can have, and just an awkward touch back leaves Garrett to have to fend for himself, but doesn't go for that ball. Instead it bounces down. Garrett, is he there? No, Beast Mode is. Shoot, Com. He's going to pass that. No, instead he just goes for that light touch, and Justin can take full advantage. Squishy removes Com. Beast Mode in the sky, goes low. Isn't able to get that save away, however, or that shot rather. Instead, bumps Squishy as he leaves the play. Now Torment with low boost is going to have to retreat. Justin chasing down Beast Mode, but with Beast Mode working his way around, incredibly wily. Falls in the sky to Torment to get that save. Beast Mode towards the target, but Garrett G tipping it away. And we've seen this amount of pressure before lead to a goal for V1. Com passing a little bit too much punch on that ball.
NRG been locked down in their half. Is this enough to break out? Garrett to the backboard. Com hard off the sidewall. Beast Mode with the 50 will push it downfield. Beast Mode doing work. The shot blocked. Com with a pass out to Torment. Torment looking for Beast Mode, but Garrett tipped the ball over to Squishy. Squishy to Garrett, and that one's hit hard off the corner. Beast Mode with an aerial play will get shut down by Justin.
Just one goal for NRG's tournament live just to get themselves into the next game. Passing down from Com. Gets the save, Torment to shoot, leaves it for Beast Mode. Beast Mode shoots top corner, but Garrett G to save it away. So much selflessness, but nothing to show for it.
And that seemed like it was the game. Squishy making that save, but was helpless towards the rebound. But there was confusion on who was going to take that shot, and the shot that came wasn't good enough. NRG have more chances now. They have life in this game when it seemed like it was dead and done.
The 50 into then just that awkward little flip reset as it doesn't go too well for version 1. Garrett G now pushing relatively low on boost. Only 20 remaining. The flip reset not gained. Beast Mode to save it away. Torment now. Another chance to go for a 2v1. Beast Mode to shoot. Who else but Beast Mode?
And it's Torment on the pass again. Torment slinging it over, and look at the power. Garrett got a piece of it, but couldn't keep it out. That was a hard shot, perfectly placed. You can't blame Garrett for not saving that one. No. Unbelievable finish. And Version 1 continue their streak of dominance over NRG.
And a record-setting series with an electric final game on Wasteland. Going the way of Version 1, but before we congratulate them too much, NRG, their new look is doing something for them. I want to give them full credit for it. They get into the top 4 for the first time in a while, and I am so impressed with that turnaround that we have seen. They get it over Optic. Version 1, that's their boogeyman. It's the team that they don't want to go up against. James, I remember you yesterday actually saying, I'd rather face Furia. As an NRG fan, I'd rather see them versus Furia. We don't necessarily have B1's number, but that NRG, I'm so impressed.
NRG, you can tell they have made improvements, and that they are an actual contender. It's not just hype. They are an actual major contending team. They have what it takes. But I think the other thing that we have learned after today is that Version 1, they still know how to beat NRG. They've done it now, 5 times in a row, and it seems like it's going to be tough for NRG to fight back from the moves that Version 1 pulled out today. They were impressive, Stumpy.
Well, that fight is going to be continuing after the break as Gen G take on Space Station, and Gen G, they are fighting for their spot at the Fall Major.
just being in love. Everything will be alright. Through the darkness, through the night, no fear anymore. No fear anymore. No fear anymore. Why the smile on your face? Don't fake it. You don't have to pretend. What a fear in your eyes will make it. Just take a chance. The thing that haunts you, leave it behind you. The ones that love you, let them guide you. Everything will be alright. Through the darkness, through the night, no fear anymore. No fear No fear anymore. Easy love I can show on the outside, it's not that simple. When it's tough, I don't show how I feel looking out my window. I get caught living in these thoughts, but I'm never lost. For a second I forgot.
Finally, we have a series not go to game 7, but it might as well have. My goodness, the overtime was insanity. I need someone to tell me how many minutes of overtime we had that series. Welcome back to the broadcast here. I'm Wavepunk, joined by Gibbs, James, and Stumpy. James, what a series.
That was, I mean, I had mentioned it to Stumpy, a bit of an anomaly of a series overall. That it was action-packed. It was a unique series. You know, you watch a lot of Rocket League, you kind of, you know, get in the rhythm of how the games go, how the teams like to play in the current meta. But that series was just, it was different. It was wild. The amount of demos and the effectiveness of the demos that we saw from COM, also the defensive stops in general from version 1, were entertaining. And, you know, you rarely get a show like that.
And we had over 13 minutes of overtime in that single series. It was only 5 games, remember, and yet we played nearly 3 more. So we nearly played an 8-game series. It was unbelievable the length that they went to, but version 1, my word, they were dominant. They were shutting NRG down in vital moments too, and just demoralizing them at pretty much every avenue that they were able to.
Yeah, it was a full team effort. Calm with the demos, obviously doing all that, but the defense was team defense. Then Torment, the playmaking in overtime and beast mode, finishing all those goals. Well done to V1.
Well done indeed. Let's bring in Calm to talk to him about the match we just saw. Sir, welcome to the broadcast. I want to get your thoughts on NRG. I feel like everyone's so all over the place on, are they back? Are they not back? I feel like you have the most authoritative take at this point, given you just played them. How do you rate NRG?
I think they're the same team they've always been. I think they're the same they were 3 months ago, the same they were 6 months ago. We just played the exact same way that we've beat them 4 or 5 times in a row now, and it worked the exact same. I don't think we played particularly well, but I think we just played our usual style and our usual quality, and it's a pretty routine win.
And it was your 5th win in a row as well against NRG, so congratulations on that one, mate. Also, if I could reach through the screen right now and put a crown on your head, then I would, because in that game 3, you got, and I can confirm, the North American demo record in the RLCS. You said before that you thought you got 15. You actually got 20. 20 in one game in game 3. Can I just, what was going through your mind in that game? Just why?
Well, it was actually kind of funny. We finished up game 2, we just lost, and then I'd been playing a lot more passive, and then our comms were pretty much, our decision was, okay, I'm going to play more aggressive. Everyone was just like, okay, you go demo more, you be more aggressive, get more in their face. I was like, okay, I'll go do that. And then one thing led to another, and I dropped 20 demos.
So if that happens in a scrim com, do you think people would say you're trolling?
Probably.
But, honestly, it worked. And I just want to know what, in your words, why you guys are able to live rent-free in NRG's head the way you do. Like, how are you pulling this off?
I don't know. I got a few things that I kind of know behind the scenes, kind of don't know. I got some theories. I feel like they might have a mental block against us, for one. I don't think they like playing against me. I'm pretty sure I have that on good authority.
I mean, who does?
Also, I feel like...
I'm going to be honest, mate. I'd hate to play against you.
And I want to hear the theories, too.
I mean, half the reason why we demo is, half is because NRG doesn't know how to deal with it, and the other half is because they get extremely upset at it, and it makes it that much easier to beat them. So whenever you just like demo Squishy 2 times, he'll just start AFKing, or he'll just like start driving around the field. He'll start demoing back in bad positions. It's just, you demo them and it's just a free win. Another thing, I feel like my boy Torment might be living in their heads as well. Don't have confirmation on this, but I think he might be in Squishy's head a little bit. That's one of my theories. I think he's got a mental block against him.
Can we ask you why?
They won that title together, and then going separate ways, both finding success. And Torment did have those 2 dime passes over to Beast Mode. It really was an impressive win from the team. You guys all playing really well.
Yeah, we were firing on all cylinders for sure.
All right, Calm, I have to talk about you chirping at majors, because we saw that a lot through majors where you're yelling at the other team because you guys face one another. When we got to the Wildcard World Championship, you're obviously facing the crowd or in the big arena. So very likely you guys will be at Rotterdam now, like after this big win. Is the chirping coming back, or has that gone past at this point for you?
I don't know, honestly. I'm not planning on it, but I'm also not planning on it. We'll just feel the room.
All options on the
What
table.
like, what the matches are. We'll see.
All right.
Well, hey, Calm, you guys are through to the grand finals. Congratulations. You face off against the winner of Gen G versus Space Station. Thoughts on that matchup? Who you'd prefer to face?
Like a rematch against Gen G. I think we can definitely beat them. But personally, I don't really care who we play. I think it's going to be a good match regardless.
Wonderful. Well, we'll hope to see you versus Gen G again. I think the fans would like that too. Calm, congratulations again. Good luck on the grand finals.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, we can take a look at our bracket. As we just saw, 5 games, finally, we don't get the 4-3, but it felt like it through their version 1, advancing to the grand finals here of the NA Cup. We have Gen G Mobile 1 Racing versus Space Station Gaming. That is the next match on the docket, and what a battle it's going to be. 2 fierce teams. Gibbs, 2 teams also that are more or less locked for Rotterdam at this point, just trying to play for that security.
Yeah, they're looking very, very likely, but this is a rematch of tournament number 1 where they played in that top 4 spot, and that's where apparently Jack just went absolutely bonkers. Put up 1.4 goals per game on shooting 50%. So he had a series for himself. Space Station came into that as the favorite because of what they've been doing against everyone else. So Space Station, a little bit of a revenge match here, and we'll see how it all plays out.
So a bit of a revenge match for Space Station. I feel like Gen G though just got their revenge on FaZe. Everyone yesterday in the aftermath of the show being over, Stumpy, looking at Gen G and being like, "We're so sorry we ever called you frauds. You're the best team in the world." Space Station may be favorites on paper, but are they actually the favorites?
I mean, I really admired those Rizzo and Sis videos. They were saying, "Look, hey guys, we need to make a statement. Sorry, lol. Like, you are legit," and they are so legit. Taking down FaZe is, I think, their biggest win so far, because FaZe are right now the best team in North America. They've got the most points. They won the first regional. Like, that is just where they are currently sitting. To take them down 4-3 and not even go to an overtime in that final game, it's something that they are going to be incredibly proud of, and it's that momentum that they are also going to be bringing through. They are. I don't think they're the underdogs versus Space Station. I think if we look at the precedent set, they've only played once, and it was a 4-1 to Gen G. Gen G are one of the best teams in North America right now. I'm incredibly impressed with them, and I hope that they can continue it today.
Well, let's get into the voting here. Chat, let us know how you feel in the Verizon fan vote. Hashtag SSG, hashtag GGM1 there for Gen G Mobile One Racing. Gibbs, let's start with you. Let's start in the middle.
Well, Wave, so in our pre-show, we did terribly on our bracket yesterday, but both sides did. But our winner is still alive, and that was Space Station Game. And I'm going to go with them. I think they get their revenge here because apparently Jack had a wonderful series last time. I think he can't do that again, so I'm going to go with Space Station.
Okay, I'm going to say that we did our winner of Space Station is alive, but that was contingent upon them playing FaZe and FaZe falling apart.
Fair.
FaZe is already fallen apart. Gen G looking like they do. I think I got to go with Gen G on this one, James.
No, I'm not surprised. I did think Gibbs had a good pick, because he was sticking with the whole theme that he was sticking with yesterday, which is just being wrong. And it's something that you love to do.
I was waiting for it.
But we just got to roll with what's working at the moment. If you're 100% wrong, you just got to keep that streak going. I like that, Gibbs. I think Gen G is looking fantastic. I particularly love the story of Nolly, who gets dropped from a team, goes to KC, has immense success, now decides to come over to North America, have immense success. I wasn't really much of a believer in this Gen G team, but after Chronic hit that 0-second goal against G2 and beat FaZe, I just think Gen G has the ice. I think they've got the momentum. I think they got it all. I'm going with Gen G.
Stumpy?
I mean, look, they've beaten G2, they've beaten FaZe, Space Station, they're just a roadblock, and they're going to absolutely smash through them. Gen G, they're going to take it. They are just the better team.
Guys, we've given Gibbs the one pick. This is bad. This spells success
It is
for
always
Space Station.
wrong. It's fine.
Yeah, very 50-50 in chat, though. Gen G has earned some fans very quickly. Space Station fans going to have to show up and get loud, folks. It's time for the match. Let's head down to the Verizon Skybox. Jorbing Achieves waiting on the call. Battle of yellow team logos here for a chance to face off against the purple people leader. Version 1's waiting in the grand finals. Let's play some Rocket League.
Can Gen G pull off 2 grand final appearances in their debut in North America? Chronic, Appjack, and Nolly putting on an impressive performance so far in the fall split achieves, but for Space Station, a team that a lot of people backed to be one of the top teams early on, they're the next task up for Gen G.
Gotta be feeling good about Gen G, especially if they play like they did yesterday. It was lights out defensively versus FaZe, and they'll have to have that level of defense, albeit perhaps a little bit more demo awareness. Space Station does like to get a little more demo heavy than FaZe, I'd like to think. So we'll see if the Gen G defense is up to the task again today.
Other than Com, who will not be thwarted in his quest to be the guy who gets the most demos out of any player ever. Space Station, that's been long how they've played the game. Even Daniel getting more aggressive, but Arsenal's usually that guy you're looking at to be that aggressor. It's Nolly actually taking out Arsenal on the play as we get started here in game 1.
Nice little float, good vision from Gen G on their own half, already understanding how they have to move the ball on their own side. Around these Space Station attackers, trying to throw off the timing as well when they get on offense. A little bit of settling in. Poke prod, see what you got. Nobody really looking like they don't know where they need to be right now, so standard start to game one. Just kidding.
Wow.
Apparently Jack actually doesn't. Okay, I was about to say, that ball looked like it started to come out of the net. Standard start, instantly wrong. Apparently Jack's just gonna muscle out 2 defenders, I guess. That's cool.
Jax Fennec just grew biceps. Like, completely stuffed that ball in the net. And how about, apparently Jack in particular, yeah, he was lighting up the playoffs in the Fall Open. But in the Fall Cup, again, he just continues to be such a nuisance for teams to deal with. Even against FaZe, they were having trouble getting the ball away from apparently Jack. He was outmaneuvering FaZe yesterday, and Daniel having to come back to grab this. As Gen G looked to get another.
Great manipulation of the timing there from Daniel, understanding possession's the important thing, and now they go try and get more demos. That's what Space Station likes, and it almost opened up the gap. LJ did have somewhere to shoot, just a lot to ask from that far out to the side.
Another shot off the bar. Chronic has to wait. This is a very important semifinal for Gen G. While their major chances are very high if they end up losing here,
Oh my gosh.
nothing's better than clinching. They get out on defense, and if they win this series, they clinch a major berth before any other team in North America. I can only imagine the memes that'll come out of that. But Jack gonna start the push again. Chronic, deepest third man. Daniel gets deleted, and Arsenal keep the push alive.
I mean, Daniel's having a great showing on defense right now for Space Station. Guys positioning well, manipulating challenge timings. Here he does it again versus Jack. Gets a little fake boost. Say, here I come. He's just going to let him bring the ball to him. Great movement on defense.
Jay has the reset, sees the space he's got, and opts for the pass instead. Arsenal getting the demo on the backside, put Jack in a tough spot. He didn't have a lot of boost. That's going to give Space Station a little more pressure, but then 150 knocks all of that out. Daniel's got to start from his own corner.
Great pressure from Nolly. That's definitely Gen G trying to reassert control on the pitch here. Really need Chronic to get this to a teammate, but he's caught too far forward. LJ wants it himself, and fortunately can't stretch it out. And right back into the midfield. No one really able to hold a strong grip. Chronic played incredibly well yesterday.
He's been playing well all weekend.
Yeah.
Really, Chronic, I think the only time you could have been like, ooh, nice shot from Jack. You saw Daniel, he backed up. He knew that shot was going to come. Just a little too far. Jack had enough power to get by him.
I think he believed Nolly that he might actually hit that double tap. So he tried to back up in case it went towards the middle of the net. Unfortunately, missed the double tap, so there was a small gap in the near post. And it just caught between 2 difficult decisions.
Great start in game 1 for Gen G. A couple of ideas for Space Station, but nothing that's really felt like a full threat on the net, despite them mounting 5 shots. Gen G are just getting a bunch of loose balls behind the Space Station rotation, forcing them to retread their steps. And another clear forces LJ back to the corner.
Missed that boost in the midfield too, so don't even really have the pressure on the boost pads to really say that despite losing the ball here that they hold an advantage. So kind of closing out a little weak here in game 1 for Space Station. Who knows, maybe this counter turns into something. Just how do you dig it out of the corner is always the tough question.
With LJ calling off Arsenal on the play, and I mean, Arsenal didn't have any boost. What was he gonna do? Daniel, underneath the reset, trying to take Jack out, and he did force him onto the ground. Daniel got the redirect! Beautiful setup from Daniel to split the lead.
Look what he does after he gives it up. He's like, oh, I'm going to stay, and then he just boosts to the floor, and Arsenal puts it straight on him. Oh, my goodness, that's a genius play. I mean, just the delaying touch into the midfield, and you know you can't get back to it. And what a heads-up pass from T-Shot.
Daniel wraps around the corner. Arsenal's full tank of boost. He's got Chronic beat. Goes for the bump on Jack. He's got him. Loose ball. Chronic will get to it first. Space Station trying to hold on to midfield. Daniel, he set them up. Who's going to finish for Space Station? Final seconds. Back over to the corner. Jack just drills it through. He's wasted all the time. And last cry here for Space Station in game one. Arsenal on the reset. Maybe another. Daniel
And
pushes
one
it out.
more.
He got the catch. LJ's there. And Chronic saves the day for Gen G.
And it's close. You thought maybe they had something there. Gen G definitely in a bit of a compromised position, but Chronic patient on the backboard, 2 saves, and we'll give him a critical clear at 0 seconds. So overall, I mean, pretty solid defensively again for everybody. You were talking about Space Station not really being able to put super dangerous stuff on target. And I mean, if you think about the one they did score, it was more a speed goal than anything else. And Gen G came out hot pretty early on, set the tone, and Space Station just never really got their feet set under him.
Daniel, really the guy on both sides of the field working for Space Station. The only man with saves, and also that play that he set up against apparently Jack and Nolly to get Space Station at least a goal. But heading to Aquadome, you certainly, at least if you're a Space Station fan, you're hoping that they can put some more pressure on Gen G.
Yeah.
The Chiefs, when we were casting Gen G phase yesterday, the story for Gen G was defense. Like, the defense was immaculate. It wasn't game one again.
Definitely. That was absolutely the showcase. And you're in Space Station series versus Gen G. I mean, it's not like Space Station doesn't have an offense that's just as capable as FaZe. They certainly do. But they definitely haven't really been able to bring it to bear. Here's a chance for Daniel off the bar. That's tragic. He didn't have the boost to actually make an adjustment, so he was trying to hit it as softly as possible. That's why he flipped his car upside down.
Well, his team's helped him out, and they've stuffed the ball in the corner.
Okay.
Oh, and Arsenal just jams the ball into the net.
No one going to be too upset about this. I think all of Gen G think they should be down 1-0 anyway. So great communication in the corner from Space Station. Arsenal saying, I've actually got a line on target, and LJ's just kind of sitting there making it look like he's about to start the pass into the midfield, so he freezes all of Gen G, and he's able to jam it home. Off the kickoff chance, this Chronic is able to pinch it off the post.
And this is what wakes up Space Station. LJ drop pass to Arsenal. He's levitating. Arsenal 2 taps and right into Nolly's bumper. Now Gen G are facing a ton of early pressure from Space Station. Chronic on the back wall waiting to receive. Apparently Jack will happily take that ball out. Nolly headhunting, maybe sets it up. He forced him to jump early,
nice.
and Jack to Nolly will tie it up.
Now this is the counterattack. Space Station tried to get really aggressive there. Gen G holds strong, and they put Daniel in the 1-on-2. He does a great job brake checking and getting around, but nice job. Way to not panic after your initial push. The ball is actually rolling offline. Most people are going to think, man, how are we supposed to score that? But he just let it keep rolling. Then he's like, okay, here comes the easy pass across, and Nolly waiting right there for it. Great communication, great understanding of how to make that one still work.
Chronic getting chipped off the play by Daniel there. Gives LJ a look. Arsenal looks, screens across the net, force 2 up. Jack and Nolly gives Daniel a shot, and it's an own goal. Apparently Jack was in position. Maybe he gets the touch here, but instead, it's in the net.
Yeah, Chronic just trying to take it away from Daniel. It's not a bad idea. I do think Jack had that. It would have been close. Would have been close. Either way, not going to matter. 2 days in a row now, Gen G, own goal donations. They're being accepted, but they may get it right back. Daniel going to be just in time. And to be fair, after Gen G own goal yesterday, they started winning, and they're going to tie it up right now. 3:34, Chronic goes right down the middle.
You saw that coming, don't lie. Before you said it. You totally saw that coming. LJ couldn't get the touch. He had apparently Jack barreling down on him. So he didn't want to get bumped out of the way. As another caught between rock and a hard place for LJ. And the missed touch leads to a Chronic goal.
Same for Arsenal. I mean, that's the beauty of going across the goal line when you go for demolitions. Anyone in that area is aware of your presence coming through, and they do try to make adjustments. So Arsenal ends up driving forward to get around him, and that gives away the shot to the back post. So heck of a play, but he's going to get it right back. Arsenal from the sidewall, unassisted.
Juicy here from Arsenal. Apparently Jack covering the first angle. Chronic was up, and Nolly also committing, seeing the control that Arsenal had on the play. But a beautiful delivery, for sure, to put Space Station in the lead.
Came off the wall so nicely for him. Most people think you need an extra touch to get that one headed towards the net, but he was still in the middle of his initial flip off the wall, and he caught it off the wheels again. So Great bit of timing from Arsenal. Manipulates the challenge in the corner, and LJ is able to keep it in the mix. How do you get this one middle? Great fake. Pulls off Nolly. Daniel, can you score? There's apparently Jack. Arsenal's going to need help for this one and just tries to play it delay time so Daniel has enough space to make sure to get on defense. But Space Station trying to throw all the misdirection right now, and Gen G just, they get out of here. Long clear.
Jack wins another 50. Nolly was waiting on the opposite side. He'll get this ball. Pop up. That one's for Chronic. Arsenal on the back wall to set up. Comes off the board. And Daniel recognizing. Beat Jack to the play and force Nolly off. A little bit of time here for Chronic and just booms it downfield. Daniel might have something here, but he lets it drop. Leaves a shot for Arsenal and way too weak. Chronic and, or rather, apparently Jack got Daniel. I thought for a second 2 Gen G players got demoed there. But no, it was a trade. And we play on.
Arsenal just trying to see what Chronic is going to do. I think he knew he was beat all the way on that challenge, but just putting the pressure, force him to show his hand a little bit. And Space Station definitely got a pretty strong grip here in game 2. It's only a 1-goal game, but the past minute and a half or so, it's been Space Station testing and pressing on that defense, and they're going to score one here. This one's off the ceiling for Daniel.
Nice from Daniel. Gets Space Station a 2-goal lead. Nolly coming back, seeing that 50 come up, and he turns the opposite way. Nolly turns off the play before it really develops. And if he waits just a little bit longer for that 50, he's thinking, okay, it goes off to the side or it goes to the right. Apparently Jack has it covered. But I don't think he was expecting the 50 to just go straight down in the middle of the net. Either way, I think it's better for Nolly if he just waits to turn in a direction until that 50 develops. It's a tough ball for Gen G, now down 2 from Space Station.
Safer lead for Space Station with not a lot of time, but they make it one back. Nolly throws a changeup, and it's going to pull everyone across the net too soon. Great play from Nolly.
Absolutely. Chronic with the pass as well. Totally throws Arsenal on the back wall. LJ knew it. He tried to dive, but couldn't get the perfect read on it. And just like that, can't count Gen G out.
The little fake cut right before he hit the ball, and everyone jumped across. And he goes, okay, now that I know where you're going. That was great.
Great little redemption there as well.
Gives him a good shot at it, too. I mean, I think there's a lot of people when playing Space Station would think 2 goals in a minute left, that's pretty safe, but you got one back pretty quick.
You know, based on how everything's gone in North America this
Yeah, you're right. I don't
think a 2-goal leads are not safe. Oh, what a drop. Challenge. The Chronic got to get there for the save. And Chronic gets another good 50. What's that going to mean for Gen G on the push, though? It means Chronic. Well, Nolly gets the lead in, but Chronic takes it himself, goes for the bump. Jack pops it up over Arsenal. And Nolly will have to respawn and get back into position. As Jack buys him plenty of time. And now he's got it off the ceiling. First touch.
Oh, he wanted help.
And he didn't get it.
Yeah, I think he was looking for apparently Jack to maybe be still sitting there in the box, but you just left to go steal away the corner boost. Either way, Space Station not going to be in a particularly strong defensive position right here. They're hoping for a big clear, and they're going to find it. Maybe a goal. Daniel's going to put a period at the end of this game. Get out. You're done. Let's move on.
You'd like to see that from Space Station to hold on. Gen G watched them come back a lot and absolutely believed in it with the amount of pressure they were putting on Space Station at the end, catching them out on the transition. That should be enough, you'd think. We've seen 2 goal comebacks with less time on the clock. Arsenal's got to cover the ball up. He does. Ball's going to fall. They might have bought themselves enough time, or rather sold enough time off the clock more accurately.
Oh, wow.
A nice touch from Jack is only a formality. Space Station top series.
Keep that one in the back pocket. Apparently, Jack, you can't show that one off. I don't.
Sorry,
want
only one psycho per split. All right. Thank you.
That's a great touch. If you hit that consistently, who knows how fast a counterattack happens with that one, but ultimately not going to make a difference. Game 2, very interesting. I mean, it was a lot of great communication from Space Station on offense, and boy, did they have a grip on this one. 12 shots to Gen G's 6.
Yeah.
So while Gen G definitely have an excellent defense, I mean, they knew they had to get out eventually, had to score something, and Space Station press, and eventually broke them down.
I do feel like, there was some preventable scenarios there for Gen G. So there is a bit of uncomfortability or a little bit of guessing that's happening on defense, but I think that is credit to how Space Station are moving the ball. Like usually it's you're reacting to how the other team is moving, right?
Yeah. And Space Station is a very dangerous team when it comes to the mix-up on the approach, right? I mean, versus FaZe yesterday, like that game was so fast-paced, you know, a lot of really strong touches and quick passes into the midfield. There's not a lot of guesswork involved. But Space Station are so good at changing pace when they get the ball on a dribble in the corner or something. They really make you second-guess things and slow you down just that little bit. And it paid dividends for him here. Apparently, Jack going to be denied in the box. Here's Chronic. He's got Arsenal beaten. Took his best guess, but no chance.
Yeah, Arsenal was in a tough spot here. He rotates back into net. He sees this challenge coming with LJ, and he's thinking forward. But LJ just got a weird touch on the ball, and it left him helpless in net.
Tough one to have to even consider trying to play for Arsenal there. Teammate just got rocked on the challenge and hung out to dry. Makes you look bad, LJ. You can't do that to him.
What a pass! Oh, great block by Daniel. LJ getting up for it. Another one in front here for Space Station. Daniel, top of the scoreboard for his team last game. Opens up the drive here on the blue, but Jack completely denies Space Station the pressure.
Love this start from Gen G here. I mean, with Space Station really running the table in that last game, it's good to see him come out here the first minute, throw some punches, really force them to kind of back off a little bit on that Space Station side, and you know, you don't get free pressure.
Ooh, Daniel, nice reset. And more pressure here from Space Station. Arsenal just trying to play it away. Did make it hard for Nolly to find space. That pinch across, the defense of Gen G, they're in position to play something a little different. So you pinch that across, and then there's nowhere for Nolly to outlet that to. It means more Space Station pressure. Look what it's got, another shot. Daniel trying to find LJ. Force two out from Gen G if they can get to the ball quickly. Chronic getting harassed by LJ. Daniel, not the perfect launch, but he does get it around, sets it up. Arsenal's gonna play deep as Jack's got full control.
A nice job from Arsenal as well. Even froze Chronic right there. Reset, Chronic wins the war. Demo on LJ in the midfield as well. Now it's time buying mode for Space Station. You don't have much here.
Straight down for Daniel. The 50 out. Nolly's gonna let it go for Chronic. While he gets deleted, he did get the ball out. Hard pass over to Daniel, almost connected. That surely would have put Gen G on ice on defense. Jackson the thirds. Daniel trying to manage the ball. And he got a great pass over to Arsenal, but Nolly privy to the pass. And now he's got to set up, but Jack can't go. Just a little bit behind on the rotation. LJ got a full field clear and a big miss, but Chronic covered it up, and another shot denied immediately by Nolly. And a great hop there from apparently Jack. Gen G, they're running into each other. LJ, though, some time on his launch. He did get the carry out. Space Station, while they get that initial dribble, Gen G have found a way into the spaces to clear it out.
But reasserting that pressure, apparently Jack. That was the right play, but Daniel just saw it coming. Made the adjustment.
Ooh, nice move. Oh, he gets a slightly better catch on that reset. Maybe that last defender's squealing a little bit. But Daniel, this is another LJ to Daniel. A couple of attempts on those go-ahead passes. And the last two, they haven't connected. I think just one of those connects. Space Station can tie it. LJ drops it down. And Chronic safely brings it back. Arsenal's waiting for him.
Solid positioning from Daniel in the midfield, recognizing that Chronic was going for the catch. And I mean, well-executed play from Chronic. That's the only way you get out of there safely. It's a lot of pressure on you to execute mechanically, and now they just try and continue to hold on to a lead. Space Station starting to reassert the control on the pitch, though, as the time ticks down. Equalizer looming. Chronic makes another stop.
Layers there for Gen G. Chronic flips it up again. Arsenal. 50 goes back to Chronic. Makes it work. Jack full tank in midfield. Hard shot! Way wide. Arsenal gets deleted. LJ may just give it a chance. Chronic just gets the stop. He knew he had to beat him with power, but Chronic diving back, getting it on his nose. Gen G's defense holding firm.
And Space Station trying to throw it back. into that Gen G half as quick as possible before those corner boosts respawn, but unfortunately not able to find any way through. Nolly stealing one away. What do you got, Space Station? Haven't really been able to get the ball down on the floor and make those adjustments to their approach that were so effective in game 2. Daniel's up for a pre-jump.
He's feeling it. He's had a lot of good looks. But the problem is the layering of Gen G. You can get by that first defender.
Oh, here's the demo.
Can't even do
There's
that.
no layers to them.
Chronic's there, though. Oh, the bounce right into Chronic's bumper. LJ pass in front, but Daniel's way too far off that pass. And Gen G. Oh,
Okay.
on.
One last look.
They got it. Jack's there. Got him beat. Daniel. Okay, Space Station. Here they go. He's going for the bump. Killed, but LJ.
Oh, tough.
The catch is too much. Gen G take the lead in the series.
Good try, Space Station, but overall, well played, Gen G. Again, defensive showcase from Chronic, 3 saves. Everyone having to put in the work on the defensive side there for Gen G. That one just spent a little more time up in the air, less time trapped in the corners as well, where I really feel like Space Station do their best work. So, getting that ball out into the middle, out in the cross, and Gen G, great job of marking people as well when Space Station starts moving that ball in front of the box. I mean, they know where that pass lane is. They got in there, broke up a lot of good opportunities for them. Like, there's one on the defense, and there's another one from Nolly. Understand where things are coming from. They did a great job.
Space Station, the few looks that they did get, call them like half or 3/4 chances, if you will. But I'm going back to like those passes that they had, 3 of them actually from LJ to Daniel that just didn't connect. That final pass, Daniel just wasn't on the play, and I think it was just a misunderstanding of where LJ thought the play was. Couldn't get the hard pass out. But like if they connect on those few opportunities, then maybe they can tie it up. But Gen G did not give them many holes to look at, and that really you just have to give all the credit to Gen G's defense for commanding an excellent game on their half of the pitch.
It's all about the vision. You know, there's a lot of value in the people in the back, that third man rotation, calling out positions of people when it comes to communication at the top level players. I mean, information is one of the most valuable things, because if you know exactly where people are, that informs all your decision making. You know what you have the space and the time to do. So there has to be just brilliant communication over on that Gen G side. That's like, okay, there's people here, you have time, and that all has to get communicated so quickly for them to be able to make the defensive rotations and the stops that they do. And that's why it feels like the only way for Space Station to get through is to go for these, insane like pre-jumps where the only X factor is the speed of the play, how quickly it develops. There's no time for that information to get transmitted.
That's why I almost feel like Space Station, they have to be more physical. I feel like they haven't really done a lot.
Well, that's why it's hard, right? Like that, the one before the previous match, right? I mean, that's why that ball spends a lot of time jammed up in the corners. That's when they have the time to rotate through the box, because there's extra time that it takes for that ball to get cleared out into a space until you have to react to it, right?
Yeah.
And so when that last game starts happening, things just spend a lot of time in the air in the middle of the pitch. I mean, you can't really afford the risk of, going and trying to take somebody out or anything like that, because there's just no time for it.
Game number 4.
Take that risk. I mean, that's just...
Yeah.
It's scary, man.
Absolutely. But to beat a team with how Gen G's looking, you got to be able to take those risks. Daniel, the drop down in front of the net. And Daniel, for all of Space Station's woes in this series so far, has looked great overall. He's had great attempts on his own when he's in that first man spot, and he's responsible for being the guy to break through that Gen G front line. He's typically successful, but then it's everything after. Ooh, Space Station that is not working out. What is working is the top right slot here for Applejack.
Great save from LJ, first off. And unlucky that as he goes into the net, he clipped the post on the way in, and he started to drive up and then saw that the play was developing too slow, so he jumped to the floor of the net to have the chance, and then the shot was just on him too quick. Oh, a kickoff that goes so perfectly wrong for Space Station and so perfectly right for Gen G.
Just right in, and nobody there. I think I can hear John.
I don't even think Arsenal saw it.
I can hear Johnny from his stream right now. Just why? Why are these kickoff goals happening? But Arsenal
Can feel it.
is gonna get the catch here. And I was gonna mention, it still bears mentioning. Tactical timeouts in this split have been successful. 7 out of the last 9 games after calling a timeout. Space Station specifically, actually, when calling a timeout, are 2-0 after that. But 7 of the last 9 games have been wins after a timeout has been called in North America this season so far. So tactical timeouts continue to be effective,
Good.
but not looking good right now for Space
You
Station.
got some work to do right now for
Yeah.
Space Station, that's for sure. I mean, we saw this yesterday with the FaZe versus Gen G. I mean, the 2-goal lead early on, oh man, you better believe here comes the really slow measured challenges where it's like, okay, we're just going to put enough pressure on you to where you have to do something, then we're just going to fall back and let you bring us the ball from a place where you can't really mix it up all that much, and makes it that much easier to play defensively.
Got a good touch from Arsenal. Gave Daniel a shot, but Nolly was already up for it. Why are you up for that? And how do you know?
He's a genius.
It was a good idea, too. Arsenal got the smart touch around the first defender. And Nolly, I guess he's just got the precog.
He's got him downloaded, man. He's like, oh, Daniel's up? It's going here.
Ooh, misses that touch. And that just might get Space Station out. Daniel. Chop pass. No boost, though.
Oh, so quick.
Ooh, Jack can be forced off by LJ. Sees the challenge. Onyx got enough boost to adjust and make 2 stellar 50s in midfield.
No room to work with. Space Agent's like, man, will you guys just let us hit the ball, please?
No. Apparently not. Apparently Jack pushes it over to the orange side of the field. Now he's on the wing for Nolly.
Oh, what a pass.
And they almost connect. A close one. Space Station try to hop the route. LJ, the go-ahead man, gets to lead it. Daniel, he breaks through again. This is one more Space Station. Arsenal, he actually got chipped off that play by Chronic. And that delayed his ability to touch that ball early. And that pass, Jack read it immediately. Daniel couldn't even jump.
Oh, and the miss on that touch right there, going to waste some valuable time. Obviously, 2 minutes left. It's not the end of the world, but at the same time, you hate to give up free pressure when you need to score 2. LJ in a tough spot here. Makes the touch to delay the conclusion of game 3. Oh! That one's going to go off the post. Apparently, Jack, never lucky. No vacuum post for him. It's going to be Arsenal pressing for Space Station with LJ. Here comes Daniel, considers it, says that one's not worth it.
And then nothing in the midfield to boot. Oh, Daniel gets chipped by LJ.
Oh, wait, what?
Chronic
What?
just gets a free shot. All of Space Station are kind of out of whack here on the defensive end. Daniel gets pushed off the ball by Arsenal.
Oh,
and then LJ
unlucky.
gets kicked. Or, excuse me, Arsenal got kicked again.
It was literally worst case. I mean, Arsenal's going for that corner boost that's behind LJ because LJ picked up the midfield. So LJ's like, okay, I'll cut out of your way so you can go around the outside. But they both cut the same direction, and Arsenal just clipped LJ, which slowed him down. And Daniel's thinking, LJ said he's back in net, we're fine. And it's just literally worst case scenario there for Space Station. That was tough. Nobody's fault, really. Just sometimes how it goes down.
Space Station are left with tons of questions and not many answers. Jack,
Make them 2-1.
he walks it right in. An easy one for apparently Jack and Gen G looking to wrap up game number 4.
Jeez. Well, I mean, score first is nice. Scoring 2 early is better. That's what I've learned against any Gen G match. If you get up 2 with about 3.5 minutes, you're gonna win.
Oh, even right there, the layers again coming through for Gen G. Apparently Jack recognizes that his teammate's getting bumped in the net. He immediately boosts across the field, or across the net, excuse me, to defend the shot. Space Station, they're drawing these up. They're definitely giving Gen G a couple of different looks, but it's just stellar defense continuing to pay dividends for Gen G. Arsenal deleting a player. Daniel's hit, not going to get anything done. Apparently, Jack just dunked LJ in the midfield, and that probably does it here for game 4.
I don't even think LJ even heard him coming. Because there is a point where, you know, your car's at full speed, and if you're not boosting, outside of the engine sound, you're not particularly loud. Generally, people hear boost when they hear people behind them, not necessarily the engine.
Yeah.
Gen G, oof, that was a challenge nightmare for Space Station. Couldn't really feel like they got anything through cleanly. Couldn't really get anything going, even if they did get through. I mean, that was beautiful structure from Gen G, and again, the educational, clinical on how to close one out when you get a nice early lead.
Great form from Gen G overall, despite the 13 shots from Space Station. And there's just nowhere to go on the back wall. Like, you do force the first defender out for Gen G, but then there's never anywhere else to go. And they actually did try to get a lot more physical on them too. But it comes down, I keep saying it, the layers on defense have
because you don't
bailed
have
them out of every single situation.
Yeah, you're up 2. You're gonna have people back. That's not a question.
Yeah.
Like, physicality is only so good when, you know, people are trying to take a little risks, trying to have a position and an outlet to get out and try and go on a counterattack. But when you don't need that, you're more than happy to say, yeah, we'll have 2 people in the box. We'll send one to challenge you. Good luck. You got to make an awesome play to get through us. And it doesn't matter what team you are. You could be a team that scores 6 goals per game on average. It's not easy to beat a team that's camped out like that, as Chronic opens up game 5 with a goal.
Chronic kicks it high. Daniel was like partially smoked on that play.
Oh, wow.
And he didn't get like the fullest read on how that was going to go. And Chronic took full advantage of that. Went with a hard kick, knew he had a slight opening on the backboard, and he nailed it. Ooh, LJ. Nice little move. Stuffed by Nolly on the back wall. Arsenal, good move again. Backboard is there, but too far. Might have been the only space he could have found it. Pass over, and Daniel's got to take it. I mean, that was the one, like, that pass went right between them. Like, which play did you pick there? Wait, it's open. There it is.
Oh, nice.
There we go. Arsenal gets the goal for Space Station, tying it up.
Great placement from Arsenal here. I mean, you were right, that pass kind of went away, but LJ makes the big key block, keeps it in the mix on what looks to be the start of a Gen G counterattack. Huge stuff in the midfield. Arsenal wheels around on it, and it's all about that placement, baby. Goes back post on him, gets them back level. Space Station trying to remain competitive here in the series.
Decent catch there from Chronic, back over to Nolly. Gen G set up again. Apparently Jack. Round 1. Nolly actually wins the touch clean. Forces Arsenal into defensive duty here. Drops it down. Chronic will happily take the boost. Back pass to Nolly. What can you do if you're Space Station? Arsenal had to try to beat that first guy out. They had him red, and they had the rotation perfect to keep the pressure up. Now they just might have found the breakout. Space Station the other way, and just above the bar.
Can't get the lucky break. Have it die a little bit in the air for you, of course, but that's all right. They're happy to be level at the very least. Now they know Gen G has to take a few risks, and that's the right play. Arsenal, throw it into the corner. Give yourself a chance to start running into people.
Just had LJ beat on that play. Immediately boosted as soon as he recognized it, too. Daniel's got to wait, but he's got Arsenal there to help.
Wow. Apparently Jack going for the demo there, but it ends up working out as a pass. This is weird. Space Station definitely still in a perfectly viable defensive position, but you can see those are the risks that Gen G have to take when they need to score. They got to go try and make something happen.
Ooh. Arsenal just getting in the air, but the box! Oh, he missed! Just wide. And Chronic steals away the midfield boost, jumps over one. Daniel gets a read out. Nolly's there. Space Station, they're starting to get some hard touches, forcing Gen G back. Demo to take one off the play. But then Nolly gets the 50 and nullifies the demo for Space Station.
Feels like everything's kind of leveled out a little bit here. Space Station. Still not necessary. Oh, wait, but they're through 2. But it takes the wrong hop. Oh, you get through 2 people finally in the midfield, and you're like, cool, here comes the pressure. And it just skips straight towards the guy in the net. Oh, that's frustrating. Little stutter step from apparently Jack. Doesn't phase Space Station. They're still looking for a consistent camped out stay over on the other side. A demo finally comes through, and this might be the start of something.
Daniel screening across, but Chronic jumps over him. Chronic with no boost on this play. Nolly also with no boost. Jack's got to be the one to bail him out. A couple of small pads for Chronic and Nolly, but this is Space Station's chance. The shot's too weak, though. Jack only a little bit of boost. They make it work. Gen G keeping the rotation tight, trying to keep those pads safe. Space Station still push forward.
Oh,
Daniel
nice.
goes for the fake. Pops it over 2. Jack's there. Got the 50 again, and Chronic comes back in the rotation. It's not enough. Chronic gets deleted. Space Station can try again, but Jack's there. It doesn't seem to matter how much boost you deplete. It doesn't seem to matter who you demo. Someone on Gen G's getting the touch, and you're not scoring.
That was such a great job of managing that by Daniel, too. But the layers come back in. They get back in the play, and they stall out Space Station right before scoring what should have been, well, I guess not should have been, could have been a surefire goal. And Space Station trying everything in the book just to get through that Gen G midfield.
Good save from Daniel, but Jack will not relent. LJ might have one, no? Gonna be a bounce for apparently Jack. Oh, Nolly's there as well. Chronic waiting to see how this develops. Pass to Nolly from Jack. Chronic gets Goomba stomped, and that one gets pushed across. Nolly demoed. There's some space to Space Station, but that dump. Apparently Jack win 2 nice 50s. Space Station aren't done. Another demo. Nolly's left alone. Jack coming in to support. Nolly's there, and he can take it himself. Ogres have layers. Gen G has layers. Nolly's got a goal! Gen G looking to close Space Station out.
Literally went coast to coast, I swear. Looking at Nolly defending that flip reset from Daniel, felt like he knew where Daniel was going to go with it before Daniel did. And he's just waiting, like, I know you don't have anything to the top of the net. How far down do you want to go? Picked his pocket on the goal line, beat everyone in the midfield, puts Gen G in a spot to make their second grand final in as many regionals.
Space Station needs some heroics now. LJ's 50 only to Jack. Back over to Chronic. Chronic takes the touch. Arsenal, that's a nice cut. But Jack knows you're out of time. And you're just giving the bounce off the ramp. He's got the pass in front. And denied again. Gen G, they will not be thwarted. Nolly wins a big touch. But does it pop out to Arsenal? Hang on a second. Daniel counts over to Arsenal. Keeps it up. LJ in the air.
Get it out.
All of a sudden, Space Station are awake.
Reset.
But Nolly, no, it's still in the air. The reset. They come. Arsenal. They pass to LJ. Daniel's there. He's only got 13.
Figure it out.
The catch. 13's all he needs. But Jack is there. And Space Station are by LJ.
They're so
It's
good.
not over, Chiefs. Here they come. Back over to Daniel. They connect. Over to the corner. Jack. Over to Arsenal.
Okay.
And maybe LJ gets there. Okay, what's next?
Oh, the bump.
Nobody. See you later. Space Station put to sleep. Gen G to their second grand final.
Wow. I mean, what an effort from Space Station. Genuinely, a couple of beautiful runs at it. But man, what are you going to do? The absolute ice from Gen G wouldn't let anything through, even if you paid them.
And Gen G, with that, will be headed to Rotterdam as the first team in North America to clinch a major berth. And it's 2 European players and a Canadian they picked up along the way. What a story for this team. To come in, you struggle early on in qualifiers. People are questioning, are they going to figure it out early, or is this going to be a season-long endeavor for Gen G? No, they got the Jets warm early, and they look good. That defense is immaculate. Space Station could do absolutely nothing.
Boy, well played, Gen G. Everyone kind of wondered, was it a fluke the first regional, especially after Swiss? And it's like, okay, fine, cool, you can make it through Swiss barely. I don't know if you're still as good. And everyone was, they beat FaZe. But, today's a new day, and nope, they're still ready to go. They just might win this one, Jorby. The only offensive test left is version 1.
That's true. Well, we'll see if Calm can dismantle the layers of Gen G. The grand finals of the Fall Cup after the break.
And now there are only 2 left. Version 1 versus Gen G gonna be your finals. And finally, we had the one-sided match we had kind of been thinking would happen at some point in this bracket, but hadn't happened up until this point. Gen G making quick work of Space Station. An absolutely dominant victory here, Chiefs.
Terrifying to behold. I was kind of thinking that it might be a little closer. I was expecting Space Station to have, an okay grip on the offense, kind of like FaZe did yesterday, but that was not the case. Like, they had a decent amount of pressure, but getting things dangerous, it was a lot tougher than I thought it would be for them. So great job, Gen G.
Jorby, you've now been up close and personal with Gen G beating 2 of the North American powerhouses here. Mm-hmm. What are the common factors here? How are they?
3. They beat
so
G2.
Layers.
That was true.
The key factor is layers, Wavepunk. Their defense, there's always a failsafe. There's always someone to back them up. And even before like the actual disaster happens in front, like the players on defense are so good at recognizing. I remember apparently Jack would screen across the net as soon as he recognized that a demo was about to happen or a player was about to go for a demo. He'd come in and cover the failsafe. He'd be the failsafe. And all 3 players did that every single time. And then after that, it comes down to the 50 game. Space Station, they didn't get any 50s on Gen G's half. I mean, they were Gen G were just so good, man. Like, so clinical. I absolutely loved watching them just stuff Space Station's offense and get another grand final appearance. I mean, this team just comes into North America and absolutely wipes the floor. You love to see it.
2 North American events so far, 2 grand final appearances for Gen G. They fell just short last time against FaZe. You know they want to get that number 1 seed this time. They're gonna have to go through version 1 though. A new opponent, a new member of the North American Titans that they have to try and knock out here. The stakes haven't been higher in a Gen G versus V1 match up until this point, Gibbs.
Absolutely not. But like if we go back to Regional 1, they played in the quarterfinals, and Gen G took care of business there. It was a 4-1. So on their road to their grand final. So Gen G, like they've answered every question thrown at them. They just need to take down version 1 yet again. Version 1 today, I like their chances more than maybe yesterday where Beast Mode just did everything. It really felt like a team effort. Com's doing a lot of work. A Torment with some great passes as well. In Beast Mode, he's still on the offensive side. So V1, this is the complete package so far today, and I like that out of them. But did you just watch that last year's where Gen G destroyed Space Station? Outside of one game where Space Station, they scored 5 goals. There was only 2 goals in 4 games that Gen G won. Their defense looked fantastic.
We've seen Gen G take down V1 before, but there was a different V1 than we've been seeing this week. The V1 seems in peak form, but so does Gen G. I feel like this wasn't the same Gen G that beat V1. So I don't. This is a hard one here.
Look.
Or Chiefs.
Be quiet, Jorby. Here's the deal. You can say, oh, V1's in peak form. I don't care. You know why? G2 was looking in peak form. Smashed them. They're the three-headed Hydra of North America right now, along with FaZe. And they slapped FaZe to the floor. Then you're thinking, oh, maybe here comes the hot shot kids. You know, Daniel's looking good. First Killer's good. No! Shut them down too. I don't care about Calm. I don't care about Beast Mode. I don't care about Torment. You're not going to beat them right now. It's not happening.
That's you make a very strong case. You make a very strong case here that I'm not quite sure how to argue against. I believe we could probably get our voting going here and continue the conversation through that. Let the Verizon fan vote. Get the chat start getting involved there. Hashtag V1. Hashtag GGM1. Depending on how you're feeling. Gibbs, is there an answer to Achieves' argument? I feel like all the evidence says this is Gen G's tournament.
It's hard because I have that same argument that I said for V1. They're playing like a team, and Gen G's doing the same thing. Like last time around that they made their grand finals appearance, apparently Jack was doing crazy things by himself a lot of the time. 1.4 versus Space Station last time. But this time around, like all three of them are putting in goals. We see the ice out of Chronic 2 days ago. So like with Gen G, and I'm sorry, North American fans, but they're the number one seed right now in North America. They're going to Rotterdam.
Hail the king. Like
exactly. And now like the only thing they need to do is have a championship. And it could be right now.
Okay, so but if I'm making you predict,
it's Gen G.
Is it right now?
I think so. I think
Look, here's
so.
the only problem. If I go this hard and Gen G gets absolutely clapped
Pick
right
a hill,
here.
Achieves. Pick the hill.
Oh, we're dying on the hill. I want Gen G. I don't think there's any way that version 1 has got what it takes to get through them right now. It's too good in the communication on defense. I think they absolutely rock them here.
Jorby, is there a way?
Yeah, there is a way. And, you know, the problem is, and this isn't going to, like, this isn't a premonition of my pick, okay? Calm has a shovel. It's a very big shovel. It's a car width wide shovel. And Beast Mode is one of the best players in the world. So if Calm gets like, 20 more demos, then Beast Mode is free to do whatever the heck he wants to do. And Torment, world-class defender on the other side. I don't know who to pick, but it's Gen G. I can't pick against Gen G.
Look,
I can't.
We've all been
I can't.
smitten with them now.
I can't.
If Calm literally keeps Gen G off the pitch entirely, manages to get the perfect just keep all three demoed across both respawn
I thought
points.
Space Station was going to blow him up. It didn't happen.
Yeah, maybe it's possible.
Well, they did blow him up, and then there was always someone. It was a Hydra because 2 more heads popped out every time.
We thought we heard in Calm's interview. He's like, what do you think is really the X factor that gives you the edge over NRG? And he's like, I'm able to get in their heads. I literally actually live rent free in their heads. They have a mental block against me. And Calm is a player a lot of players have a mental block against. I don't think any of the players on Gen G have a mental block against Calm, though, either. I do think this is the one-sided finals here. If version 1's able to get the victory here, it's going to be a big upset with how Gen G has been playing. I'm also going with Gen G on this one.
There we go.
Man, it's not often I'm okay with us predicting. I'm predicting entirely against it here. How does chat feel? How does chat feel about this one? Version 1's been out there drumming up some business, but Gen G has got all
Chat
of
believes it
Europe
too.
behind them here, folks. Mike.
Notre America is claiming Europeans at this point. They're like, they're our team going to Rotterdam. All right, we want them.
That's been our MO for the last 200 years, right, folks? But let's get into game. Let's play some Rocket League here. Gen G Mobile 1 Racing versus version 1 for the title of NA Fall Cup champion. Let's get down to the pitch. We've got Daz and Stacks in the prizes skybox.
The Fall Open went to FaZe Clan. They played 32 games. Version 1 trying to claim the Fall Cup. About to play their 33rd, the Iron Men of North America, going up against the reigning runner-up in Gen G. Is it Gen G's time this time, Daz?
That's what we're here to find out. Version 1, we've seen this team really take a series into their hands and just control it. Whether you talk about yesterday's matchup or even today's against NRG, Version 1 is not a team I would count out just yet, but Gen G have all the momentum forward. They've been, like you said, they've been running the gauntlet here in NA. They've already clinched the major, but can they clinch the Fall Cup?
All eyes on Beast Mode as he's on the ground waiting for that pass from Calm, and there's apparently Jack high up on the backboard, avoiding contact and also avoiding any kind of rebound. Beast Mode, second touch to the backboard. Torment's there, and Chronic will have that ball away. And the question, of course, can Gen G stay on the field against Version 1? They've come in with a clear strategy. Bumps and demos. A lot of physical play led in large part by Calm, who's up to challenge Nolly. Nolly's around him, and Beast Mode there with the stop.
Ooh, good pass from Chronic, though. Jack almost able to get that redirect. Decent pressure coming out from Gen G on the press. For both teams, heavily adaptable in their matchups. The question, though, is will we start to see that demo spree come out? As already, this game, Calm has just been all over the ball. That was Torment's second touch that we just saw there. Here comes Calm again, this time a little too slow. And ball into that back end. Torment passes to Beast Mode, who looks to control this all the way across the field.
Well, apparently Jack right there to meet him. Of course, that's where the high field IQ of this Gen G roster comes into play. Led, of course, by Jack. Here's Chronic, though. Big pinch all the way downfield. Jack chasing it down, and he'll score it!
Jack was tracking this ball. Pitch from Chronic. Lasers downfield. Knew Calm was uncomfortable when he ran up the sidewall, and Jack muscles his way through for Gen G to get their first goal.
Chronic with the massive pinch. Just under 2 minutes gone by. How does Version 1 answer? Calm, gonna leave that for Torment. Now they have to take over. If this is Version 1's answer, they might be done real early. I don't know what happened there, but all of a sudden, Version 1 kind of lost the plot here. Chronic up to Nolly, wide. It's open for Chronic, and he sent it to the left. Beast Mode happened to be there. That's one that Gen G is going to want back. They got to feel like they should have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, goal line saved there for Beast Mode, but despite that, it looks like V1 very shaky in the opener here. The defense has been having a lot of close calls, and the offense hasn't been as threatening. Calm, though, trying there, does get the flip reset, but it's an awkward one, and Noli just has to remain patient in the net to get the clear away. Torment will get demoed, and Jack will try to do it all himself. Gets a bump on Beast Mode. Follow up from Chronic on target. Torment clears it into space. Noli follow up. Chronic gets the bump. Took Beast Mode out the play, and Noli's shot is good.
V1 getting a taste of their own medicine. Physical play. Beast Mode knocked out of the play. Nolly makes it 2-0. Chronic with both assists. Again, the story of Gen G, James talked about it earlier. We've talked about it constantly over these first couple of regionals. How well Chronic has fit in with apparently Jack and Nolly. It has just been the absolute perfect fit. And again, Version 1 just left out in their own defensive zone. Here goes Chronic. And Torment will have that up to the corner.
Good clearance. V1 still time to get back into this game. This is a different team that has stunned all of the Titans in North America that they've played against. V1 are going to be tested here in their matchup. But that being said, this is going to be a long series. It's a marathon, not a sprint in the best of 7. And a minute 15 left. They can still come back in this if they get a successful drive here soon, Stacks.
Version 1 got to play this with a sense of urgency, too. They need these 4 valuable points much more than Gen G needs them, as that one just narrowly off the mark. Nolly looking for another. That's off the post. And Version 1 catching a break to hang around in this game. Beast Mode able to steal some boost, but not able to get anywhere near the ball as this goes across. Calm is there. 45 seconds. Opportunity for Version 1. They've been few and far between, and Chronic snuffs this one out. He's going to deliver the knockout blow in game 1.
Big play here from Chronic. It's a statement play. You see Calm there. He gets it past him. Beast Mode a dunk. No solo play for you. It's all Chronic who puts his name on the lights. 3 goals. Every single member of Gen G getting on the board here in game 1. And they are looking to shut out version 1 here. 36 seconds left. V1 cannot get a goal.
Everybody shoots, everybody scores for Gen G, but also Chronic has been involved in all 3. 2 assists, and then that solo goal. Apparently Jack looking for another. Oh, they're already dead, Jack.
Look at this. The net, it just feels like it's open. 2 people off the side while Beast Mode tries to get there as fast as he can, but he's too slow. Jack has him red all day long. Com's getting demos in the back end, but Com, your team needs you in the net. 22 seconds left, and another goal given up for V1.
Torment up ahead, Nolly intercepts, and boy, version 1 just got to be waiting for this one to mercifully come to a close, and apparently Jack is not done yet. A hat trick now for Jack as the beatdown continues.
Yeah, Beast Mode trying to get a read on that. Perfect placement from Jack. Top right corner. 5 goals here. How many more are they going to score in the next 11 seconds? You would think that that was the last one we see, but Gen G not letting their foot off the gas.
We got 2 referees in here, and neither one of them is actually going to stop this beating. Oh, boy. Final seconds finally tick away, and Gen G makes a statement in game 1.
And what a statement they made. The entire team all over the field. You saw, again, 3 goals coming out for Jack. He has a hat trick, 4 saves from Noli, and an assist from him. Chronic, you had said it earlier in the game stacks, just all over. He had 100% goal participation till things got out of hand for V1. And my goodness, a smack in the face coming in game number 1 for version 1. Thankfully, we get to game 2 on Aquadome. It'll be 0-0, but you could tell completely picked apart there. They shut them down on offense. Beast Mode only had 1 shot that game. Com was the one who was really acting so proactive, but even then, he can't be everywhere. V1, they got to lock in going into game 2. Otherwise, we've seen what Gen G can do. They can break apart the best of the best. If this game plan continues on, we're in for a short grand final.
Beast Mode came into this series with 25 goals. Apparently, Jack just tied him at 25 in the Fall Cup. Gen G came to play here in the grand finals. We'll yet to see if version 1 has come to join them. Aquadome for game 2. Something's got to change for V1. What'll it be?
Already, the start, you see that demo. Jack in the air. He's had some standout performances and solo efforts here in this entire tournament. Will he continue that trend? Or will it be Chronic here who comes up a good 50? And Torment, oh no, a big misread on that back wall, but not punished. Chronic plays that into the back end, away from the net. Nolan will take his shot at it, light touch, and Beast Mode has the red.
Big win for Com as this goes all the way downfield. Beast Mode, tough angle. He can't get that central. And apparently Jack and Chronic tangled up with Beast Mode in the corner. Torment joins the fray as well. Finally outlet out to Chronic. And Com barely making the save on Chronic's effort. But now it's apparently Jack. Up ahead to Chronic. Here come the team plays out of Gen G. Beast Mode snuffs that out. And the follow-up goes a little bit wide towards Torment. Play that with a full tank of boost through apparently Jack. Can he get around Chronic as well? Kind of. But it's Nolly taking charge, and Beast Mode finally clears us out, and that's got to be a big relief to Daz for version 1. They're not letting Gen G just pepper their net with shots yet.
Correct. They have been able to slow things down here, and they've also stopped the bleeding. So now it's about transitioning that. That might be the start. It's Torment getting version 1 on the board.
First goal for V1 in the series, and their first lead. Just under 90 seconds gone by. Torment coming up, who's kind of been the least talked about of all 3 members of this version 1 squad.
Honestly,
still critically important.
I think Torment might be up there, but hold on. Jack, though, shutting that down really quick. The response off the kickoff here as Chronic gets a nice second touch, throws off Torment, but Jack was so ready to hop on it. He'll get rewarded with his equalizing goal.
Maybe there's something about Chronic playing against version 1. He's involved in 4 out of the 6 goals here. You have to go way, way back to RLCSX, the fall split in this same month, by the way, October of 2020, as Nolly met by Com. Chronic's team was able to sweep version 1 in the Swiss stage of that bracket, and they haven't really crossed paths many times since. Chronic playing that out in the general vicinity of Com, and Beast Mode jumps ahead of apparently Jack. Nolly couldn't come up with a touch. Opportunity now for V1. Up to the backboard, Chronic bails him out.
Yeah, look at that. Chronic's not done yet. Look, another 50 win. He's going all the way downfield. He's making Beast Mode uncomfortable too by just making sure that net is really a safe place for Beast Mode to be in. He finally is able to get around and get a 50 on Chronic again. Chronic this time, he gets demoed. 2 demos for V1. Can they score? Com gets denied there and will take his frustration out on Chronic. Beast Mode looking to set up Torment, but that ball gets sent away. And version 1's strongest attack since their first goal is sent by the wayside.
Well, Com took the boost, but let apparently Jack take over. Beast Mode has this high above the Aquadome floor. Chronic, little backflip, Torment to the backboard, and apparently Jack is right there. Possession for the moment, then out to Nolly. Nolly to the backboard. Beast Mode's got to have this. He didn't have it away, but Com got the demo on Chronic, and that snuffs out the attempt. But Chronic right back into the play and just ahead of Com. Demolitions, of course, so critically important, but also getting your bearings straight very quickly after the respawn, as apparently Jack shuts down that from Beast Mode. Just hasn't been able to get the human highlight reel going. Com, backboard, and Chronic has that out.
And still, though, that's a good drive from Beast Mode. He got past the team that was really trying to shut him down once he got into the air. Maybe something that V1 looked towards a little later and maybe can rely on. That's a good bump. Can Beast Mode line up the shot? No, Chronic denies it before Beast Mode can get there. Chance here. V1's making Gen.G very uncomfortable down the press. They just got to get that final shot lined up. The problem is Gen.G's been covering every angle. They're making it so tough for V1 to set up offense.
The control from Gen.G has been exceptional. Beast Mode around apparently Jack, but not with possession. Com will try again. I mean, V1 just playing this dump and chase. Chuck it downfield and try and track it down. And it's worked for 1 goal in now almost 10 minutes of gameplay. This goes all the way down. It's Com to collect. See if V1 slows it down just a little bit. Beast Mode up ahead. All by himself. Getting some help from Torment? No, Torment and Nolly both unable to do anything with that ball. And the demolition on Chronic again. Feel like maybe, despite apparently Jack's 4 goals, V1 might have put a target here on Chronic to make sure he doesn't get too comfortable. 15 seconds remain as Com couldn't get any heads there. And apparently Jack, just seems like both these teams are willing to dribble this out and go to overtime here in game 2. All knotted up at 1 goal apiece. And Com will bring this to ground thanks to apparently Jack's challenge. And yeah, a rather uneventful finish to that game sends us into overtime.
OT lined up. Beast Mode might have it there. That shot's off. Com tries to get around it, but Nolly able to knock it away. Beast Mode has been able to pick apart Gen.G's defense, but he needs a follow-up on some of these shot opportunities. Maybe this drive could work out for him here, but Nolly there quickly. I mean, Gen.G's so smart on how they play the ball out and play it around version 1 that they got to make the most of these opportunities when they're in the offensive half.
All about utilizing different angles and different approaches. You use the same thing over and over again. It becomes very easy to defend. Chronic, whoa, right in front of Torment. I don't know what happened there. Everybody's just kind of jammed up. It almost looks like the practice lobby as this goes across to the wall. And apparently Jack, full tank of boost. He beat Beast Mode to it. Can he get the double? No, Com is right there.
Beast Mode has a long clear here. Gonna try to control the ball, gets that flip reset over 1. Almost tried to line up another, but Jack was not letting that happen. This is a big beat though from Torment. If he could win that 50, it would have set up V1 maybe for a scoring chance. But Nolly gets that one out once again, and now you start to see Gen.G. What do they do when they have the offense in front?
It has not been the prettiest Rocket League between these 2 squads, but that's just kind of how they play, especially the physical style of version 1. Everything's been thrown into disarray. Beast Mode shot, one of his better looks, immediately snuffed out by Nolly. Back to midfield, Chronic intercepts. Haven't seen Gen G utilize their high-quality passing lately, because usually they're only playing with 2 players on the field. Nolly was just taken out. Here goes apparently Jack. And Calm will stop that up via the ceiling, and needed one more touch, but Beast Mode's all over it.
Chronic control. This one goes around. Noli not able to make contact there. Calm pass. Torment shot. It's a top left. Bang! Torment seals the deal for V1 in game 2.
Boy, where did this come from? I think everybody saw Beast Mode start to turn in, and they just assumed the shot's coming from him. And all of a sudden, Torment, top left, V1 level the series.
You alluded to it a little bit earlier, Stacks. Torment, probably one of the least talked about players, not even in this team, just in this lobby.
Yeah.
And I bet you everybody's talking about him right now after that goal. Great
After
work
both
to set
of them.
him up. Yeah, he's got 2 of the goals. He shot 100% that game. You line it up, he'll be able to knock it down. This was a tight one between V1 and Gen G. Again, a lot of possession changes, and it looked very awkward and very scrappy in some of these midfield battles for possession. At the end of the day, though, comes down to, again, being able to line up some of those shots, setting up Torment to be able to work for V1 has worked out tremendously. As you talk about Gen G being kind of like a 3-headed Hydra, like a lot of people say. Version 1 in that same right sometimes.
It almost felt like fatigue was starting to set in during that game. Like both these teams have just had long weekends, not used to playing so many games in one weekend with, of course, all the games played yesterday, 28 for 28. Both these teams having to go through grueling 7-game series. Calm intercepts here. Wonder if they'll kind of pick it up as the series rolls on. That win for version 1, by the way, their 4th straight overtime, as apparently Jack plays one across, not letting Chronic come up for it. Chronic waiting at midfield. He'll be called into action against Calm as he'll make the turn. He wanted that back boost, could not take it. Opportunity for V1, but Beast Mode nowhere near that ball, just hanging above his head.
Gotta watch out how people move the ball around here. Grand finals tied up in the series score. What a response from V1 in game 2 after losing game 1 5-0. They end up taking game 2 in an OT. Again, being able to make those adjustments is such a big deal here over the course of this. Again, 2 teams, both of them still have their timeouts here, and it really makes this series feel like quite the stretch, quite the test of their true mettle.
Second touch for Beast Mode. He'll set up Calm, and Calm could not run onto that. The pass not exactly where it needed to be. He'll take his frustrations out on apparently Jack, with Torment coming all the way back, and the game of keep away continues. Try to keep it away from that man, Chronic. Here goes Beast Mode against Nolly, and Nolly there with the stop. So Beast Mode, his solo efforts have gone kind of quiet. They've been stopped by Gen G for the most part. Only the 1 assist to his credit so far. It's a pretty good one, though. Chronic.
No boost.
Can't connect here. Yeah, trying to do maybe a little bit too much. And maybe version 1 starting to frustrate him a little bit. Beast Mode against apparently Jack. Bring it to ground. Trying to do it all himself. Torment to finish the job.
They unleash the beast. Look, gets Jack up. A 50 pass too, so strong. And Torment there at the perfect moment, another follow-up goal. V1 set the tone in game 3.
He will try and do it all himself until somebody else tells him he can't. That time needing Torment to come up and finish it. He has. V1 back in front. It was a quick answer from Gen G last time. Apparently Jack. That'll go to Nolly. And more possession out of version 1. I mean, we've already seen, Daz, they've gone from just throwing it deep and trying to track the ball down to keeping possession. So you play around with fire, you're eventually going to get burned, especially with Chronic. And apparently Jack coming in. Jack waiting. His shot set away by Torment.
Great patience on the ball there for Jack. Oh, wait, hold on. Noli trying to set this up for Jack again. Ball gets out to him, but Beast Mode able to deny. Gen G, the offense was so strong in the early parts of the game, but now things have slowed down for them. The scoring has been tremendously less in the early part of this series. What once looked like these guys were operating as a cohesive unit, it feels like now they're playing catch-up because version 1 has just completely sped up this game and this series.
B1 getting into positions where they can try and outplay Gen G as Chronic makes his third save, keeping Gen G in it here with 1:40 to go. Nolly met by Torment. We've seen, Daz, these challenges slowing down quite a bit, though, from version 1. Not just their pace of play, but getting the tires on the ball so that they can slow it up and try and bait Gen G into an early challenge. It's worked to some extent, but only to a 1-goal lead here late in Game 3.
Yeah, when they drive up the field, I mean, the press has been really tough for Gen G to manage. I mean, you saw that save. That was a great shot from Common to the top right corner, forcing a defensive stretch. Beast Mode almost able to put that one in. That was so close as it screened along the goal line. It's those types of threats that have really just kind of changed up the narrative here for Gen G. The way they've been playing this game now has been, okay, we need to regain control. We need to kind of control the pace, how to move the ball. Torment's pushing past 1, past 2, and Cobb will put it in. 2-goal lead for V1.
Torment won't get an assist here, unfortunately, but boom. Hit 1, hit 2, wide open as Calm gets his first of the series, and that may be enough. 50 seconds remain now, a 2-goal lead for version 1. The physical play still coming out, but this time not just from Calm. He's right there to stop Chronic. Nolly trying to set up apparently Jack. The shot itself was a little bit wide, and now Calm throw one downfield. More time burning away. Precious seconds that Gen G need to try and get back into Game 3.
30 seconds left. Gen G would need 2 incredible drives if they want to equalize this game. Maybe a chance here. Chronic tried to go for it, but very ambitious was that chance there. Would have been stunning. Now Calm can take his time, work around the ball, and this series started out completely one-sided, but now it's flipped on its head. Gen G may have started off strong as they look for one more. They won't get it. Version 1, 2 back-to-back game wins.
Why do we fall? So we can get back up. Version 1 takes just a ham-fisted beating in Game 1, but they have bounced back. 2 goals in back-to-back games, 2-1 in overtime, 2-0 in regulation, and now a timeout coming out from Gen G as they've watched this series take on a completely new direction. And it's on that squad right there to figure out how to slow down not just Beast Mode and not just Calm, but most importantly, slow down Torment, who has just had a reign of terror over these last couple of maps.
Everybody talks about the 3 players, but I mean, you got to give credit to Alu here, being able to coaching this team. If there's anybody who knows how to pick apart some of the best teams in NA, it's going to be him. Especially, I mean, he's played against a lot of them too. He's been the experience level from Alu, combined with the experience from Jack and Noli. I mean, that's part of the reason why this team is so good. They're going to be needed though to see whether or not they can really make some big changes, because version 1, I mean, once they kind of figured out how Gen G were playing, I mean, they changed up the style a little bit. Like you had said, Stacks, they slowed things down. And once they were able to do that, they pulled Gen G out and they hit them hard.
I wonder if it's a little personal for Alu, as it is Calm who broke Aleutian's record of demos in a single game. You remember, of course, Alu did it in a 5-minute game. He bullied around, I think it was Shopify Rebellion, in an event where FaZe then went on to not even make the top 8 playoffs. I think that was right after they had come off of a win in the Fall Open, or the first Fall Regional back in last season. Odd how FaZe seems to have done almost the same thing this time around. Back to business, though, with these 2 squads, version 1 and Gen G. And Aleutian trying to get his squad back in it here after a couple, I don't want to say a dominant win there in game 3 from version 1, but it felt like they had possession for the vast majority of that game. They certainly had the higher quality chances. You can't really recall too many good looks from Gen G back on DFH Stadium. And now we go to Utopia and what mentally must feel like a must win for Gen G coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you expect that to be very successful for them off of that tactical timeout. They've been pretty successful, though, when they do come out of those timeouts. So would not be too surprised to see if the changes have an immediate effect here. But that's what we play the games for. Chronic, Demo, Jack, Tanoli. Oh, but Torment there has it lined up. Beast Mode is going to let Calm score that because the net's just wide open for him. And V1 picked up where they left off.
Less than 30 seconds after the timeout expires. And that is not what they talked about during the TO. V1 all smiles during the timeout. It's just going to keep on going unless Gen G gives them a reason not to. Beast Mode wins the race to the corner boost, and he's got the ball, so apparently Jackson's nudged him away. Beast Mode stays with it, though, as he got to the ceiling. Shades of Garrett G in London as Calm got it to go off the crossbar and in.
Calm's been looking for a way in all series, and now he finally gets one right over Chronic. Bar down and in. 2 goals, version 1. Keep up the fire.
The party just keeps on going as Torment comes across. He is through Nolly. Chronic will leave that for apparently Jack, but he can't keep possession. Chronic kind of gets stuck down near the floor of the goal. Here comes Calm again for Torment, and apparently Jack just in the way. And Chronic will take charge as Jack and Nolly try to sort themselves out. It'll be Nolly up ahead. Beast Mode coming in behind him. I don't think Nolly had a clue he was there. Now Calm can't get through Chronic, and Nolly's got to slow things down along with Jack.
Oh, man, but the performance, though, from version 1 has been spectacular. They come into this series, and it just looked so uncoordinated. But now everybody has been involved. I don't even know who to make a case for. Everyone's playing great right now. Torment especially. Again, a lot of his defensive touches have been phenomenal. Have set up a lot of good offensive plays. But he's also been on that scoring. And you saw how they looked in that game, too. He put in both those goals as well. And then you see that solo play there from Calm. And, of course, I mean, beast mode is beast mode. But that one is all Jack, who comes through and says, hold on, I can do things all by myself if I need to.
Beat 1, beat 2. The only reason he didn't beat 3 is because Torment was out of the play to begin with. Apparently Jack determined to drag his team kicking and screaming across the finish line if he has to. Chronic will win the race to that midfield boost. That should slow down V1 just a little bit. And Beast Mode taken off the pitch as well. Apparently Jack looking for more. Forced it through, and Torment's right there. Oh, and now the net's open, and it's on! Beast Mode adds another.
Hey, you gotta look at this again. Is this a pinch? Oh, man. Pinch right into the net. Austin Franklin just under the crossbar, too. Unfortunate for Gen G. As Noli tried to make that challenge there, but 2:51 left here. And man, when you thought they had some momentum, they got a lot more work to do now.
More work for Jack to do. More for Chronic and Noli to perhaps pick up as well. Coming to the halfway mark. Still a lot of Rocket League to be played here on Utopia. Calm through Jack. And gone a little backflip there. That opens the window a little bit for Gen G. Nolly will steal the boost out from underneath Beast Mode. Apparently Jack there at midfield. It's got to be Nolly to take charge. Nolly over to Chronic, and a laser brings him back within 1.
Oh my, the power behind that shot, 81 miles per hour. Look at this, infield, Calm did not stand a chance. He knew exactly where it was going, but the speed on that, Chronic got everything behind that ball. Gen G back in it, 2:17 left. They go for a fake kickoff here as they look to try to feed the ball across, but not necessarily the best touch out, and almost a chance there for Calm to increase the scoreline for version 1.
All Beast Mode to Calm, and Chronic in the way along with the rest of Gen G. Savior medal for Chronic. Can he save them? No, it's saved away by Beast Mode. Apparently Jack's drive is stopped, but there's Nolly. Everybody shoots for Gen G, and Nolly finishes the job.
Attack, and attack again. Nolly keeping the follow-up, gets Demo, but it doesn't matter. He's still got a piece of the ball, puts it into that top left. Gen G not done yet.
Inside 2 minutes in a game that feels like it's just gone on forever. 3-all as Calm meets Nolly. And the pass goes way out towards Chronic to reset for Gen G. He will think about peeling off. Now, after forcing Beast Mode back to the backboard, it's Chronic and Jack on the attack. 135 remains. Things have slowed down only a tad bit now after Gen G has leveled game 4. And Torment gonna have all day to circle around on this. He's got Calm on the outlet. Hard to the back wall, and right there is Nolly to catch.
You're right, things start to slow down. Now things have gotten equalized here. But for Gen G, this is a perfect. Again, coming out of timeout, it didn't look too good for them. Now, again, starting with Jack kind of leading the charge, they've been able to pull themselves back into this game. If they win this, they pull themselves back into this series. But you gotta stop this V1 team, and when they're under press, sometimes you just can't do that. Torment able to get the goal after Beast Mode pushes his way through Gen G.
A former World Championship MVP. He's been in this spot plenty of times. The veteran Torment breaking a 3-all tie with less than a minute to go. And Calm on that kickoff will win it right back to Torment. Chronic coming up. Decent challenge. Beast Mode to follow up. And Gen G getting the release valve there, and just ahead of Calm. Apparently Jack adds his 6th goal of the series.
Great read from Jack to get there. Absolutely needed touch. I don't know if he could have played the play more perfectly. 8 goals. 45 seconds left. No one wants to give up this game.
V1's already played a game like this yesterday against Furia. They dropped that game, wild as it was. Apparently Jack thought about it. Slow play instead. Chronic now with Jack waiting in the middle. Beast Mode boosting in, trying to give him something to think about. Here comes Nolly for the win, perhaps. And it's set off by Beast Mode. And the ball downfield for V1. It's dangerous for Gen G, and Chronic just barely getting that to the wall. So apparently Jack can settle things down. Final countdown to overtime in game 4. Chronic slows it down. Apparently Jack out of the corner. Clock hits 0. Ball hits ground, and we go to OT.
What a game we have seen here. No one could have expected this type of game 4 coming into the series. But here we are, both teams been trading blows back and forth to try to get a lead of this. V1 win this game. Series on match point, they have the momentum. But Chronic and the rest of Gen G looking to deny. Infield pass, Jack trying to get there in time. He wants to get a play to set up. They want to close this one out. But V1's defense locked down.
Our version 1 out of sorts defensively there, but they did just enough to keep Gen G off the scoreboard for now, as Gen G trying to get their 2nd win, trying to get a win coming out of a timeout. They don't have anything left after this. Torment, decent challenge against Chronic. Here comes apparently Jack. Chronic's got to cycle out of there. Nolly was right there in the midfield. Now Chronic just throw one netward, try and slow him down. Apparently Jack pushed it wide. An opportunity I'm sure he'd love to have back, as Torment picks up a 2nd Savior medal in this game alone, and Torment finally ricochets this out and is brought right back in. So V1 can't really get too comfortable here, Daz, at their own back line.
They don't look comfortable as well either. Oh, pass to Nolly. He tries to end the game, but Calm denies it on the goal line. Gen G still shooting. Jack trying to get this one through. Chronic is sitting there waiting. Nolly will pick up the mid boost here. Will he be able to get to this ball? Yes. Turns around and Torment denies. Calm will not be able to get there in time. This one's been very speedy as Beast Mode looking for the double. Gets it. Can Calm finish again? V1 win and put the series on match point.
5 minutes away, or who are we kidding? No way that they only need 5 minutes in the next one from claiming the Fall Cup. Another overtime 5 in a row now, going the way of version 1.
What?
My gosh. 16 shots, Daz. 16 from Gen G, and all they could get is 4 goals, and even that wasn't enough.
Yeah, exactly. Despite everything that they tried to do, I mean, they were definitely poised to take this game. They had opportunities. But even when V1 would punch, they would punch back sometimes twice as harder. They really wanted this one. But it does come down to this. Of course it does. Beast mode. That pass out. Fantastic. Caught Gen G off guard. And now Gen G have their backs against the wall. Everybody, the entire desk predicting them because they've run the gauntlet, but no one could have expected the way V1 have come out and play, except for those who have been watching V1 this entire event, who have seen them step up. They want this regional just as much as Gen G. They want to close it out. Can they do it here and now? Game 5 goes live.
Wasteland, perhaps a fitting site for what could be the end of the Fall Cup as Chronic comes across for a save early on. Torment tried to slip one by, and apparently Jack there as well. Version 1, you can tell now, they can sense just how close they are to claiming this regional. As Calm trying to force one through, and of course the 4 points that would come with this individual win. I mean, the $30,000, that's nice as well. Chronic, great setup for Nolly. And the ball dished off to the corner by Torment. Here goes Beast Mode, right at apparently Jack. And Jack has won more of those than not so far in this series, but overall, it's been Calm and Torment that have picked up the slack in a big, big way, helping V1 to this point.
Can they help V1 close this series out, though? Gen G has started this one with a lot of offensive pressure, but not too many testing shots, just keeping the ball on that blue half. They want to be able to break down version 1 at that defensive end. That would be the real success here for Gen G. If they can take them down when they usually are at their strongest defensively. Chronic trying to lead that charge against Demo easily. In Beast Mode, a good carry over Jack.
Torment there to meet Chronic as well, and well, these are the 2 men of the hour. Calm and Torment trying to work in tandem. Instead, it's apparently Jack coming in to take that away. And Beast Mode gonna burn as much boost as he can to get to this and keep possession, getting his teammates in position to help out, but instead it's Nolly. And apparently Jack coming up to take over. That shot's wide. Follow-up goes out to Chronic, and Calm recognizes that to shut down the play immediately. Calm's second touch. Torment couldn't get a shot off, and Beast Mode not diving in there. That would have been effectively a triple commit for V1, and they're not going to press that with a 2-game advantage.
Oh, Chronic almost got that flip on the ball. Chance for Noli. He was setting up for the flip. Gets the dunk throw, but it's straight to Beast Mode. Beast Mode will try to get a carry upfield. Calm with the shot, top left, denied by apparently Jack. Halfway point, scoreless after a shootout in game 4. Defense has stepped up as we are on tournament point.
Torment trying to pinch that across the Calm and immediately shut down by Gen G, fighting for their tournament lives. Runner-up in the Fall Open. They have clinched a spot at Rotterdam Ahoy. Torment in front, Calm denied on the left post. Now Beast Mode, he's going for a double, and Chronic sends that back out towards Calm, but it's just right back in. It's like one of those punching bags. It just keeps coming back. Torment out of the corner. It's Beast Mode, and that's off the post.
2 back-to-back post hits for V1. They just can't get a goal despite all the pressure. And Gen G escaped by the skin of their teeth. Now they're trying to move upfield.
Torment trying to finesse that around Chronic, who runs into Nolly. And Gen G only left with Nolly on the attack. Apparently Jack was across. And Beast Mode will get this corner boost, or side boost, but give up the ball to Chronic. Minute 25. Apparently Jack is there. Shots wide. And the follow-up belongs to Calm as he just pops it up for Torment. Beast Mode is lurking, and Nolly's in his face. chasing Calm all the way back, and he just got a touch.
Forcing Calm to just send that through. Again, not being comfortable. Calm low on boost. Torment low on boost. But still able to slow down Gen G on the press. Beast Mode has enough to get a solid touch here. But here comes Noli. Good speed for Beast Mode to get there in time. Ball played into the blue corner, but not in control of V1 just yet. They're still trying to fight their way out. We are getting into dangerous territory in game stacks. One goal could decide this tournament.
As clutch as Gen G has been in this fall split, version 1 has been a little bit better in this event in particular. Again, winners of 5 straight overtimes. I'm sure they're content to just let this clock run out and go to another golden goal situation. As Beast Mode gets deflected away by apparently Jack. Chronic coming through. He gets hit to the ceiling and can't continue the play. 20 seconds remain. Nolly, only line of defense, though Chronic goes right through Calm on his way back, and he'll have the clear.
Calm sending that back through, up so fast, but Jack up a little bit faster. Torment pushing this through. Can he set up a goal? No. Chronic with the deny. Calm to Beast Mode. Beast Mode to the sidewall. Noli tries to keep this up, but no, will actually let it hit the ground. Overtime in game 5.
Yeah, but you can sense the fear from Nolly there as that ball came off the side, and he realized that, okay, big sigh of relief. There's nobody coming on. Here goes Chronic for Nolly, and it's set off by V1. Here they come, looking for a 6th straight overtime winner. Calm drop down. Right there is Nolly waiting.
Big test here for Gen G. Can they stop this V1 team that was on a run? So much pressure here. No one afford to make a mistake. Look how slow this drive is. No one wants to go for the ball. Torment will take it away after Chronic puts a testing shot on. But you can just feel the tension for that 1 second. Oh my God, a laser shot, and Chronic has to reach for the save. Torment, drop down, and Chronic cuts it off before Beast Mode can get to it.
It's just far too early for version 1 to have actually gotten a winner there as Beast Mode. Oh, hassled by apparently Jack. Chronic is there as well. Nolly waiting for his chance to jump in, but it just never comes. And Nolly's got to race back. Indirect shot is deflected high. And now Calm for the win, and Nolly shut that down too. Oh, Nolly's been an integral part of the defense now for Gen G. He has almost single-handedly kept them alive in this tournament. Now Beast Mode in front for Calm again, and Chronic got a piece. Nolly altered the shot as well.
Jack slowing things down, trying to buy his team some space. Clear out. Torment, a high ball, looking to recover. Noli turns. Jack behind him, able to get a save. Another save from Jack. That's his 3rd of the game. That's also the 8th for Gen G.
One thing we've not seen is a ton of demos out of version 1. Everybody racing back. And Calm and Beast Mode will be at the back. It's apparently Jack to center, and nobody there. Shot wide.
Oh,
and
my
boy,
goodness.
just ricochets right back. And that forces Beast Mode to hang around at midfield.
Keep your head on a swivel the way the ball's moving now. And the faster it goes, the more likely we may see a mistake here. Both teams playing well. Shot on. Beast Mode gets there before Noli can get to it first. Jack with control. Chronic won't be able to go for it. And this one gets played into the corner. 2 minutes, 15 seconds in OT. And this one still as close as every other game we've seen.
Only one of those overtimes for version 1 was under 2 minutes, and only barely so. Here's Nolly. Oh, he got to it too early. And the shot's just high. Calm trying to chase this down, and apparently Jack plays around him. Ran into Beast Mode. That means Torment and Calm. Calm was a decoy, and that still froze Nolly and Chronic enough. They can recover. And Chronic a little too strong for apparently Jack. Calm can bring this back to the corner. Now Nolly. Oh, he couldn't keep possession there. A big miss. And Beast Mode almost made him pay for it.
So close, but not close enough. The net looking open, but Chronic comes back to get up in time. Beast Mode pass middle. Noli with the denial, and make sure not to send it too far away from the team. He's able to come up again after getting that boost. Great carry for him. But can Gen G make it through this game? V1's been bearing down on them, looking for a way to close this series out. Demo starting to happen now. Good read on Jack. Calm trying to end it, and Chronic a goal line save.
Version 1 has eclipsed over 20 minutes of overtime now today alone, and they're gonna have to play some more as apparently Jack ends it in 5, and now we go to game 6. Gen G stays alive.
Noli gets the bump. Jack finds the ball just under the defense. It's not pretty, but it's enough for Gen G to stay alive.
A marathon back and forth where the game nearly ended at least 5 times. Instead, we play on as Gen G tries to come back from the grave, led by apparently Jack, and yet another gargantuan scoreline. Crooked numbers all over, 5 saves, 4 shots, but most importantly, the 1 goal, Daz, that keeps Gen G in it here in the grand finals.
And man, that goal so big, but there were so many chances all over the field. Calm that game had 8 shots alone. That is the same as Gen G shots combined as a team. And to see that pressure, to see that offensive attack V1 pulled out, and the fact that Gen G were able to get there, some of those plays, some people are definitely going to want to take a look back at, but there's no time, Stacks, for us to take a look back. We got game 6, Neo Tokyo on. Gen G still got some fight in them as they look to send this one to Champions Field.
Is Neo Tokyo the magic map for version 1? We will find out. Torment. Of course, the mental reset involved with any team playing in a long overtime that close to ending a series, and in this case, ending a tournament. Version 1 finally drops in overtime. Calm up to the ceiling. Wins that, but Nolly's there.
What a touch.
How great has Nolly been? How great has Gen G been overall? They have really bared down here. Nolly, double tap, and it's just wide.
Oh my goodness, it was so close. He had it lined up. He knew exactly what he wanted to do, but just barely off target. Still though, Noli being that comfortable on offense can only be a good sign for Gen G. V1 on the defensive end has been able to block things out for now. But Gen G starting to ramp up after taking that win. They got a lot of momentum. Chance out in front, and Chronic will punch it through. Gen G start game 6 off hot.
Here they come again. Apparently Jack around Torment, and Chronic right there. We haven't seen Gen G be hyper aggressive like that. We haven't seen them send that second man diving in. That time the confidence pays off. On another opportunity, Nolly up ahead to Jack. The extra pass and the shot well high. The Chronic will have to play this around. He couldn't get there for a shot. And it should be V1 ball now. Beast mode towards Torment, who will circle around. And maybe a little confusion over who's actually going to come up and challenge that. Torment out towards Calm, and well, he was kind of playing for Torment to lose that ball, so that doesn't work out for V1 at all, and they can't quite get on the same page here early in game 6.
Soft touch out, Chronic able to cause some confusion. Now Beast Mode has to use the last of his boost to make sure that Gen G don't turn this into an offensive attack. He's going to be removed from the play a little bit, but he picks up that mid, so now he's back in as Torment puts that into the corner. Noli plays it up high, but Chronic was almost, I think he was in a row 1 there where Torment in front of the goal line decided to jump out of it. And now, Gen G will be able to clear it away.
Well, this is intercepted by Torment. There's Calm. Shot just a little high and wide. Beast mode to follow. Tough angle for him. And Nolly will just roll this one out. Gen G with the lead, trying to force us to Champions Field. Would be a fitting end for a tournament that has had all sorts of peaks and valleys. Calm, able to grab that corner boost. Now Beast mode with Torment running across in front. Torment all the way back up to that midfield boost. Calm going for a demolition. He got Chronic there as Calm got to be closing in on 100 demolitions in this event. There are teams that don't even sniff that number over the course of a tournament. Here goes Nolly to pop one up. Apparently Jack is there. So is Chronic. Everything to shoot at, and it's just a little wide instead away.
Is it a counter? No, it's off target. Could have been a chance there. Gen G set the house on the play, but V1 were so busy stopping the initial shots that they couldn't necessarily recover in time to be able to equalize this game. And now they got to race against the clock as we hit that 2-minute mark. Gen G in control of the ball and of the clock here as well. As again, game 7 bound if things stay the way they are.
Hard clear, but only as far as Torment, who needs a second touch. He's not going to have it. On with another demo on Chronic. And he's been the primary target for Calm as well. Able to get past Chronic this time in beast mode shot. Deflected by apparently Jack and held out around the corner. Torment being chased. That corner boost not there for him, but he'll still be able to collect and dribble out as far as beast mode. Shot right down the middle, sent away. And now Calm's got to kick it into high gear. Minute 20, still only a 1-goal lead for Gen G. They've had their chances to expand that. So too have version 1 to equalize beast mode for Torment. No.
Oh no, Noli with a big miss here. Calm will put on the shot. Jack is up to get there. Noli gets a bump on Calm. This ball high, and Noli will get close to it. Again, just warding off V1. Final minute of gameplay. V1 was close in the last drive, but they came up empty. Do they have any more in the tank this game?
Decent stop by Nolly, but it's Calm after the demo by beast mode, and it bounces through. Torment the last touch, and version 1 find a way to equalize in the last minute.
Look at this, so much confusion. Jack didn't know what to play there on the ball. And as the last line of defense that gets past them, V1 have been able to bring this game back. Another golden goal opportunity potentially happening here. 40 seconds, clock ticks down. And Gen G have been playing so well. Will they give it up here?
That could have been scary, and apparently Jack jumping across with Chronic. Bailing out Gen G here. That pinches downfield, and Calm still found a way to get a touch. But now Chronic, his shot. That's going to require effort, and Beast Mode couldn't get a touch. Chronic circled around. He couldn't get the angle. Now Calm, full boost. But he couldn't do anything with the ball. I think a lot of kind of paralysis by analysis here from a lot of these players, as the nerves are certainly displaying themselves in the closing seconds of regulation. Nobody wants to make a mistake, and so we go to overtime.
Lock in. 1 goal makes the difference between Game 7 and us sending it back to the desk. V1 able to get an equalizer here, but do they have what it takes to break apart Gen G? Gen G, who started this game off early, have let things slip towards the end. Do they have the mental to get back into this game and close it out and play one more? This is what we play the games for, ladies and gentlemen.
Good pop by Beast Mode towards Calm, but better intercepted by Nolly, and Torment still there. World-class defenders still got it. And here comes version 1, only as far as midfield as they lost the plot again. And Calm nudges apparently Jack into the corner, and Beast Mode just slow playing against Nolly. Calm with the boost. Finally clear the zone, but here comes Gen G again. Boy, V1 have, again, they've played with fire multiple times. Chronic and Calm take each other out. And you wonder if Gen G is going to get him again, if it's only just a matter of time. Nobody forward, though, for Gen G except Jack. Now Nolly will try. He's got the flip reset, and still met by Beast Mode.
Gen G with some strong strikes, but now the ball's going the other way. This one out in open space. And you can tell that defense, that last man back is very far back. No one trying to overcommit just yet. Beast Mode looking to end it. No, will actually go for a bump. He doesn't have a follow-up, though. So V1 will have to start again. Something's got to give here, whether it's the defense or maybe an overextension on offense. But time will tell. We're approaching the 2-minute mark in this game 6 overtime.
See the wheel spinning there for Beast Mode. Apparently Jack going to be the only one back. I say back, right there at that horizontal dotted line. He was pressed way forward in the demolition there on Calm. That's got to feel a little therapeutic after what they've endured this whole series from Calm. Here's Nolly, met by Beast Mode. We passed the 2-minute mark of OT. Chronic trying to drill down onto one. It's a high bouncer. Torment's got it all the way. Beast Mode thought about coming out. There is not a lot of boost at all for version 1. They move very slowly out of the zone, but do escape unscathed.
You're right, they move slow, but Gen G also moves slow there. You're expecting a challenge. It doesn't come through. Jack plays it high. Calm will get a read on that. The defense in the net was taken out, but V1 still survived.
I think if that shot is on target down there, we're going to Champions Field. There's no way anybody's going to react to it. Apparently Jack lining up a double and beast mode cut it out. A third save for him. He's the only one on the V1 side with a savior medal in this game, which just feels bizarre given how many good looks Gen G has had. As Nolly not going to be able to keep possession here. And Chronic trying to help out the cause, but it's calm. Oh, reset. Beast mode there, and it's just high.
Chronic still doesn't have that 100 boost. He's going to sit there in the back on that path. Meanwhile, Jack and Noli trying to cause havoc. Chronic goes to disrupt beast mode, but beast mode has the ball again. Calm looking for the demo, and Jack able to make the save off the beast mode shot. Looking to move upfield, but Calm with the deny gets it back to beast mode, who again is trying to disrupt V1 on that offensive push.
How far we've come since that second overtime, or the first overtime in game 2. And apparently Jack denied by beast mode. Chronic also stopped by B mode, who somehow keeps us going on Neo Tokyo. But for how much longer? Calm out of the corner. Nolly shuts that down. And beast mode, little hesitation. That may be costly. Apparently Jack shot sent out by Calm.
Noli tries to send this mid. It's behind Calm. Chronic gets a piece of it. Jack goes up, but fake challenge. Noli gets beat. Chronic in danger, but is able to get that light touch. Noli picks up that corner boost, so it doesn't go to V1, and Calm here, last line of offense here, as he's trying to buy time for Torment and Beast Mode to get back into the play.
Coming up on nearly a full extra game, a missile set forward. Calm's got it, over to Torment. Nolly had that read, and Calm read that from Nolly, seeing apparently Jack coming up. Full boost though for Jack. Met by beast mode. Switching fields time and again. No, Jack with a backflip there, so Torment, at least he had to get in the way. Who knows what would have happened. And now Calm. Met by Nolly again. Another win before midfield by Gen G. And they get a shot though. Nolly to Jack, and he just couldn't connect.
Jack got bumped, but now he's doing some bumps of his own. Could be an open lane. Chronic to win! Bang! Chronic sends us to game 7 off the assist from apparently Jack.
And who does he hit back into the net? Calm. How does it feel after 5:01 of OT? Champions Field awaits.
We couldn't have it any other way, Stacks. These two teams have fought their way through this bracket and have shown us displays of brilliance, of magnificence. And before we get things going on Champions Field, V1 need to take a timeout to make sure they regain composure after that one.
Yep, you can't take it with you. So version 1 will use it here. Tournament point. Champions Field. After Gen G. They looked dead in the water, right? I mean, you go back to that game on Utopia. Version 1 getting the early lead. Gen G bringing it back. And then with the overtime winner from V1, you think, okay, there goes all the momentum. There goes all the fight. All the wind out of their sails. And Gen G finds a way to answer back. If this isn't the most exciting team to watch in North America, Daz, I don't know who is.
He's all out of water. I'd be too if I was playing that series. My goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I got a big jug right here. Trust and believe. But man, you can see it though in that tactical timeout as well. Torment was going off, like just constant communication, constant talking. Look, he is right here even again. You know V1, even though that game was played close, and even though they've been able to battle back into the series and go on match point, tournament point, it just feels like in these past couple of games, Gen G's been able to match them pound for pound. So for them, taking this time, kind of reset, get locked in for this, and also figure out what they got to do to break apart Gen G is going to be huge here for them. I don't blame them at all, but they've only got so much time left to be able to chat, because once we get on the field, they got to leave everything out there.
4 overtimes in this grand final. The only 2 that didn't go to OT, the beating that Gen G delivered in game 1, 5-0, and a 2-0 shutout from version 1. That gave them a 2-1 lead, and it felt like V1 had all the momentum. Timeout has expired. One more time to Champions Field. Who takes the Fall Cup, the 30K, and those all-important 16 RLCS points? It's Chronic shot met at point blank by Beast Mode, and Gen G trying to get the upper hand early on as they go back and forth.
Chronic coming out of that, gets a musty. Again, just looking for using that time that he has to be able to kind of set up some play that throws off V1 on the defense. But here's Beast Mode. He almost got a piece of that ball. V1. You wonder what they said to each other during that timeout. There was a lot of talking happening. And how are they going to change their approach on the field here? Because they're all out of options. They're all out of lives. It's when the clock hits 0, whoever's in the lead is going to take the Fall Cup.
Chronic chasing down the sideline, and it's Calm that played that out towards apparently Jack. Can he get a second touch? He has, but it's just wide across the goal line. It looked real dangerous there for V1. You just feel like both these teams, one missed challenge away from certain doom as Calm got hit there by apparently Jack. This goes right back out to Jack. He is just everywhere right now for Gen G, Daz.
He is. Jack is, and so is Chronic. Chronic got 2 bumps off ball and almost kind of set up a lane there for a goal to be scored. Jack is up super early, was looking for a bumper on Torment, but Torment remains solid, as always. It's going to take a little bit more than that from Gen G if they want to take down V1 here, especially when they're cool, calm, and composed in the net. Calm dodges a demo as well, and being able to get this again back into that midfield.
Oh, Torment caught up to this. No second touch, though, as Calm is taken out behind the play. He's respawned in just in time to make the save.
Beast Mode up early. Calm looking to get to that ball quickly, but not the best touch on that one. So we'll leave it for Beast Mode. Beast Mode, ball played into the corner, not really going too much anywhere here. And V1's attacks have not necessarily been as threatening so far in the opening half. Gen G has kind of let that charge. The pass comes through. Noli, shot. That one off target, and Calm able to clear it away for V1.
4-man shot here, sent away by Chronic. As the action continues back and forth at a little more rapid pace than we saw in the first half of the series. Torment, yeah, wow, way out towards Beast Mode, but he was still too far back. And Calm will slow it down a little bit, trying to give Torment time to get in position. Beast Mode creeping up again. All eyes got to be on him. He's been the guy, but he's been a little quiet in this series. As Nolly got that corner boost and then ate a demolition for his efforts. Beast Mode meets apparently Jack. Can he get one central? It's still available, but Nolly will have control. And that's going to be Torment and Calm kind of in the same area. It works out all right for version 1, but we've seen maybe a little bit too much of that for comfort.
Beast Mode could get one here. You're absolutely right. It feels like he's been quiet, but I think that's just Gen G's game plan. Get in his way. Make him only go into the play for just by necessity, not for freedom. As it's really been Calm and Torment who have had a lot of the free balls to be able to do what they wanted to the air. Beast Mode does not have that luxury. He hasn't had it all series long. And they've been able to kind of cage the Beast for now, but he can still break out. And my goodness, would it be a breakout if he could do it right here when the team needs him most in this Game 7.
And Calm could feel the pressure coming from behind. He was able to jump and avoid a demolition, at least initially. Now Beast Mode, all by his lonesome, and stopped again by Nolly. Again, Nolly's defense. You don't talk about defenders very often because, okay, great, they're not scoring a lot of goals, they're not picking up a lot of assists. But Nolly's defense has been critical. But this one he's given away, and Calm picked his pocket in the final minute.
Read him like a book. And look at this, 0 boost. Full faith to stay with the ball, and it pays off big time. Great read as V1 50 seconds away from winning the Fall Cup.
Those faces on the right side of the screen, someone's got to step up. Chronic gonna take it on himself. He got through, and apparently Jack ties it 7 seconds later.
They strike like lightning. Chronicles lines up the bump. Jack with the follow-up threads the needle. V1 put all the hands up, and they still couldn't stop that shot from Jack.
Torment now to the corner.
Oh, chasing.
Oh my goodness. Another just edge of your seat moment for Gen G's defense. Now Chronic trying to run interference, but apparently Jack couldn't get the shot through Torment. Now it's beast mode out to the corner. That caught a deflection. Overtime looming again on Champions Field. Nolly's got other plans. Calm will just send it up to the corner. V1 has been great in overtime, but they've lost the last two. With chances to end the tournament.
There's a chance.
Apparently Jack, one more look, and beast mode brings it to ground and rolls it out. Overtime, golden goal, sudden death to determine the Fall Cup champion.
Close is not good enough. If you want to be a champion, you need a little bit more. And both these teams have given it their all this entire tournament. It comes down to this.
One of the longest series we've ever had as Torment sends one away from the goal line, and Beast Mode got a touch there to get around Nolly. It's only Chronic that slows down, and everybody able to recover for Gen G. And apparently Jack now through the air, and Torment takes charge. Good comms defensively for version 1. This is free in front, and Beast Mode gets back just in the nick of time.
You can see the pressure building up. You can see what Gen G want to do. Again, playing almost V1's game against them. Going for these solo plays in the air, getting the bump. There's a bump there. Torment can't finish. Nolly awkward. Beast mode. No! It's denied by Nolly. What a recovery as Gen G look to move downfield.
How is this game still going? Champions Field brings out the best of everyone. Beast mode scores, and version 1 cuts down Gen G.
Beast mode off the assist from Calm gets just enough behind it to where Nolly can't get a piece of the ball. And version 1 fight through it all, and they take the Fall Cup.
A version 1 team that, listen, we're all prone to hyperbole and making snap judgments off small sample sizes. We all looked at them after the fall open and thought, all right, they're just another team in North America. Turns out they're just another regional champion. You can see a little bit of disappointment on the side of Gen G, but pure elation, especially from Calm and Torment, as they pull down another regional, their first since the winter split when they really needed to win one to qualify for LA. Maybe a similar result here as it gives them a big leg up in the race to Rotterdam.
But man, was it not easy for either of these teams too to be able to pull off this from V1. As you see that final goal going in, beast mode able to just get there. This team has wanted something like that for so long, Stacks. They've been fighting towards the top, and you know it has to feel so good for them to reach the peak of that mountain.
That series finished maybe a minute or two short of being the longest best of 7 series we've ever had. What a wild, wild finish. After we were worried if we would ever see Champions Field again after a full day of Champs Field yesterday, we finally got it, and boy, did that grand final deliver. And now I think there's only one thing left to do. I'll send it back to the desk to close out what has been a memorable Fall Cup.
Oh, baby. Oh, my goodness. What a series. What a battle. The fact that, and what a waste of time. Am I right, Gibbs? Like, come on.
I know. You come back 3-1. Can't close it out, but V1, we cast a cursed it. We did. We were like, we don't think there's a shot based on how Gen G is playing, but V1 showed up. So this is their first regional win since February 20th of last year. So hats off to them. That was Winter Regional 2 or 3. I can't remember which one it was, but V1 coming out like that game 6, instant classic with all the defensive stops, the long overtime, just so many great moments throughout this series. And after a day like yesterday, where we went 28 for 28, it was only fitting that we got another Game 7 overtime.
Yeah, I mean, Jorby, the box could not, the game could not have been stacked more in Gen G's favor. They were coming off of a dominant win. They had so much momentum. V1 had time to cool off. Every team that Gen G had beat just kind of seemed like a slightly better version of version 1. How could it possibly have gone this way? And then I think all of that just speaks more, just makes it more impressive that version 1 pulled out the victory.
Absolutely, and you saw the whole team come out and put on an incredible performance. Calm, obviously, in that semifinal, really set the tone with his demo-heavy play style. But him, Torment, and Beast Mode, the smart touches, the achieves. That play in particular, you were geeking out like, that never works if you don't get the demo. Those kinds of plays that were happening for version 1. But Gen G as well, I mean, they've had such a valiant comeback, and I thought maybe they were going to do it. And that redirect from Beast Mode.
Watching back all those highlights and all the goals for version 1, the one thing that sticks out is like, look at how well they controlled the timing right in front of the Gen G net. Like, Gen G was absolutely locked down. They were the ones controlling it on their half for, all weekend long. And then they come in here with just a small hesitation, rotate the car backwards so it hits just a little bit late, and they're like, whoa, we can't stop it now. And it's just like version 1, great challenges and right at the end.
So here's the thing too, so we talked about version 1, they were playing as a team throughout today, and we always talk about beast mode on this squad. They only put up 0.29 goals per game throughout that series. That is a credit to V1 as a team that they're finding that form now, because that was always my one concern. When he's not scoring the goals, will V1 play well? Not only did they play well, they just won a grand finals.
Yeah, well, I want to hear it from the players themselves. We have Torment on the line, and sir, what a battle! What a series! What a classic! It was amazing to watch. What was it like to play in a series that strong?
I'm tired now. Really. I mean, we were battling. I mean, like today and even yesterday, we've had like the longest OTs. I'm not sure why. We're just like 6-7 minute OTs, even against Energy. Even against Fury, I think, just going really long. And especially having 3 back-to-back and 2, which we thought we should have closed out, definitely tires you out a little bit. Definitely drains you. But I'm glad we were able to close it out, because that definitely would have sucked to lose the 3rd one.
So very likely, you're probably going to Rotterdam at this point. How do you feel as North America, like as a region now? Because with all these international transfers, everyone is so good. It's like, do you expect that NA, by the time we get to World Championship level, that you guys will have a bunch of extra teams because of how good everyone is here?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that NA can get 4 spots. I mean, at this point, 1 or 2 of those teams won't be, NA, like official NA, like from NA players. Yeah. But I mean, at least they'll add the spots, and we'll probably have still have like 5 or 6, NA teams at Worlds that were, not from South America or Europe.
That are actually from,
But when you're playing, a team like Gen G here, I mean, watching back all the highlights, to me, it seemed like you guys really controlled timing of the challenges in front of that Gen G net. Is that something you guys were trying to do as you got right in front of them? Because their defense has been absolutely insane over this weekend. So how did you guys approach them?
I mean, yeah, they're pretty strong against teams that just like bang the ball around and get heavy hits. And they also pre-jump a lot. So we decided to, we're just keeping the ball lower and controlling. And that was the only way we could really consistently get past them, I guess, because they're really good at pre-jumping and reading the bangs and the solo plays. That was basically the main thing. And that's a pretty EU, I think that's actually an EU thing. Like a lot of EU teams just pre-jump the midfield and pre-jump the high. So we were just not going high because we didn't want to just play into it.
Well, Torment, you mentioned, earlier in the tournament that there were probably a couple of games that you guys should have closed out or felt like you could have played a little bit better in. And considering how close you guys are now to qualifying for the major, what are the things that you think that you guys need to work on that are still weaknesses you think that you could improve on to prepare for the major?
To be honest, I think today the way we played is definitely our ideal play style, but we definitely we're a little bit panicky. We would be in those OTs and we weren't controlling like we should, and our comms were a little bit panicky. We're trying to remind ourselves, calm it down. If we play how we do, we'll win this. And yeah, it would just come down to some panicky touches and putting the ball in bad spots, and we know that's not what we're supposed to do. So, I mean, as long as we keep that consistent and especially with more experience, we'll obviously get even better with that. So all that's pretty. But all in all, like that's how we wanted to play mostly. Like we played really well today.
Well, Torment, we are all still so impressed at the performance we just saw out of your roster. Any final shout-outs you want to make to the fans or to anyone else before we let you go?
Shout out the fans. Shout out, my parents, my mom, my dad. I'm sure they're watching right now. Shout out, everyone at V1. We have some of our V1 staff here and stuff, and they're coming in supporting us while we're playing. Even though it's a Sunday, they're technically not on duty today, but we appreciate all that. And hey, to the fans, obviously you love the fans. Have some diehard fans since all the way back, 2 years ago when they picked us up. So we appreciate everyone, and thank you guys so much.
Torment, congratulations again on the victory, friend.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Version 1, your NA Fall Cup champions here, beating Gen G Mobile 1 Racing in a 7-game thriller. I've seen this bracket before with Gen G making it all the way to the final here, Gibbs, and then falling apart again. Is there some? There was a way in which we talked about, clearly V1 stepped up, but there was also a way in which we saw many of the Gen G players, particularly Appjack, having some moments where he could have clutched up, where we've seen him clutch up previously, and it falling apart. Does Gen G have a problem with grand finals?
I wouldn't say so just yet, because we talk about question marks for all these teams, really. Like, we look at FaZe in quarterfinals and they lost out. So there's question marks across the board for every team, but the experience that they got here in a Game 7 overtime, that is incredibly valuable to go into a major, to go into big moments. And every time that you have a big moment like this, you're just going to get better and better at handling it. So, sure, Gen G has lost 2 grand finals, but they've been in both grand finals, which is very, very impressive.
Look, Gibbs, you say there's questions across the board, but all I know is Furia lost in the quarterfinals to the grand final.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's get the point.
The copium's out for me. I'm happy.
8th place, Jorby. Come on. They got work to do.
All right, let's talk about points really quick. Top 5 go to the Rotterdam Major. The magic number is the 3-point gap, and that is from quarterfinals to a top 4 finish to make it into a grand final. So that's what you're looking at here. Right now, we are on pace for a G2 NRG tiebreaker. There's still one tournament to be played, but if they both finish 5th and everyone below them does not do better, we would get that tiebreaker match, which would be incredible. But for version 1, they've moved up to a tie with FaZe Clan, which is huge, and Gen G, obviously, with the 24 points. So a virtual lock for the top 3, and then after that, it gets a little hairy. Space Station, pretty safe. But again, that 3-point gap, we see Complexity, we see a Shopify. They just need a top 4 while everyone else will finish 5th, and they could possibly play for a tiebreaker match. So a lot on the line going into Regional 3.
Lots on the line. Gen G, while they don't get the victory here today, chat, they do end the day on the top of the leaderboard with a 2-point lead there over the team that took the victory there, version 1. Version 1 tied with FaZe going into our final event. North America action will continue here in about 2 weeks. We'll have the Invitational, but next week we hop the pond back to Europe and see their second event of the fall split. It's been a crazy one. Congratulations again to version 1 on their victory. Thank you all for watching. Thank you so much to the people in the back for making this possible, and all the rest of the casters and players for putting on a great show. That's the end of it here for us now. We'll see you guys next week for some Europe action. Stay safe.
Baby, I just wanna be alone. I don't need your company, stop blowing up my phone. You don't get the things that I've been through, and I don't have the time to lay it all in front of you. And you think that you wanna save me. You don't know it, baby, why you do this? I got this under control. You think you do, but you're real.